I just want to say that I'm like such a huge fan of yours. Like, I had no idea you were so tall, and also your hair is like, see, because like I ride horses, and like
Shut up, bitch.
Okay, sorry. Ooh, you're dominant. I'm into that. I'm just wondering though, and I'm sorry, and then I will shut up. But I was just wondering how you get your hair to be so ponytail thick.
I woke up like this.
Genetics. Okay, but I have to.
I'm lying. What?
I'm
lying.
Your skin's amazing too. Like, I spend a lot of money on my skin, but I can't get my skin nearly as smooth and as glowing.
I wasn't
as
born
yours
like
is.
this.
So what are you doing?
On it.
What's that?
Well, I have to explain the whole. Can you just go to the website?
No.
Onit.com/fighter, 10% off.
They have,
so you can save more money for your stupid emojis.
Because honestly, I have terrible digestion.
You fart all the time?
Yeah, and can you smell this?
Yeah, your breath is hot too.
Yeah, it's hot.
That comes from your gut, girl.
Yeah, what do I do about my gut?
Why don't you take total gut health from Onit right now?
Okay,
because the gut's important. Mm-hmm. And how about you go kick rocks? Can we get Bryan in here?
You are so dominant.
Why are you sitting in Bryan's chair?
Excuse me, ma'am. Oh, hi. I'm a huge fan, but not as much as I'm a fan of Brennan. I don't. Do me a favor. Get out of here, please. Okay, thanks. Mm-hmm.
Bro, why would you have that?
Who was that girl?
I don't know. Some coked up chick from Hollywood.
Oh.
I don't know how she got in here.
I don't either.
Groupie fan.
Yeah.
Lot lizard.
A lot lizard.
A lot lizard. A cage lizard.
A cage lizard. Don't call it human being.
An octagon whore. An
octagon whore?
In hockey, they call them ice junkies.
Ice junkies?
Hardwood whore. That's a basketball term.
Really? Every sport has
Pigskin slut.
God
That's
damn
football.
It. Really?
I'm making these up as I go.
God damn, that's so mean. Every sport has that. What about the guys?
A hardwood whore?
What about the? You know, there are a lot of gay men that probably.
Pigskin slut, right? Of course that's made up.
I was like, God, that's mean.
A pigskin
hardwood
slut?
Whore. A pigskin slut.
What they call?
Ice junkie.
I want to apologize. I want to apologize to all the sluts out there for Brendan.
What could you call a hockey groupie?
Let me finish the commercial. Onit.com/fighter.
Oh, we'll do a new one for them.
Okay.
We'll give them a better one.
Shop. They're puck bunnies.
They're puck bunnies? How about
or puck sluts?
How about frozen fuck buddies?
Wait, puck sluts. That's a great word.
Puck sluts works also.
You know, I hung out with the Blackhawks and I did a show in Chicago. I do have to say
they party harder than anyone.
They party harder than anybody, and they had a great deal of la-di-das just hanging about.
Oh, hockey?
And these guys were animals. They were getting drunk, and they were kind of grabbing them by the waist and tossing them back and forth like they were chattel.
Most of them are Canadians, right? They're a little aggressive when they get drunk with the L, as you call them, the frozen whores. Well, they're a little aggressive with them.
Let me give you this. So I was there, and I knew these two girls I had met. They'd been at the show, and they come along, and with there because they were all into the hockey guys. And one girl had just impossible breasts.
Some Ice Age tits.
They were just impossible tits, and they were probably real, but they were just simply impossible to ignore. And this one dude who was Canadian, who was giant and blonde and was getting drunker, and you didn't know if he was going to punch you or hug you. You know that look? And he started going. He started going.
Zeroed in on them.
He zeroed in on it. He just started. First, he took his pants.
Zeroed in on the fun bags.
He went to the bathroom, and as he was going to the bathroom, he took his pants and his underwear off and walked with his dick swinging free in the restaurant. This is beforehand.
What?
Yep, and his ass. And he went to the bathroom, and I was like, there it is. And they were like, hey, he's crazy. You know, and I was like, this is starting to get crazy. We go to this bar, and they get a little section, and he keeps looking at the girl going, let's see those juggies. Come on, free those juggies up. Just free them up. Why don't you free those juggies
Some
up?
juggies,
and she
eh?
was like 32 and a professional, and she was just like, she was smiling because she was she was probably strangely attracted to this absolute animal.
But that's just so aggressive. Like, you can't condone that type of behavior. It's flattering too.
That's right. She was behaving the way you would with an unruly boy. Like if an unruly boy is like, and a mom goes, shh, shh, shh.
Okay,
take
sweetie.
it easy. We're going to bed.
Sweetie, yeah.
I swear to God, that's
Show me them
exactly the energy.
juggies.
Let's see those juggies, though. Let's see. And she would say something.
See
and
those
go,
juggies,
He
yo,
wouldn't
eh?
even hear. He goes, yeah, but let me see those juggies. Free those juggies up. Let's see them juggies.
She was trying to change the subject.
Finally, I was like, bro.
You can't say that.
Bro, relax on the juggies.
What a classic line, though. Let me see those juggies.
And he wouldn't take his eyes off him. He was not interested.
They zero in.
He zeroed in.
Well, I played hockey
kill.
with some. I played lacrosse with a lot of Canadians at Whittier College. And so they recruit all Canadians.
Yeah.
When them boys drink, man, they get aggressive.
Yeah,
they're almost like the Polynesians when they drink. They're like
I've heard
real
that.
friendly.
Yeah.
And when they drink,
Super
it's just
friendly and
like
polite, and then they
Jekyll and
drink.
Hyde, man.
Yeah.
But I told you, I may have told the story on the podcast before. At the time, he was the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, the biggest deal. And I mean, Toronto Maple Leafs doesn't get any bigger.
You're the king.
I'm at a party, and no, it's a nice restaurant. We're like sitting at a big table. It's a group, and the one guy goes, "Oh, my buddy's coming, so just make sure you save like 2 seats." I'm like, all right, next to me, and we're this girl, famous girl. Smoke show. We're vibing. This is years ago. We're vibing. Like, damn, this is great, man. In walks El Capitano for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well have been a
spore,
a fucking
mushroom.
pocky.
Yep.
I look like
a
pure
cup of coffee.
Shit.
That's right.
I mean, he said. I mean, everyone's like, "Hey, why don't you go grab some drinks, buddy?"
That's when you
once you hit the
realize-
showers.
That's when you realize there's not only a pecking order, but we are smart apes. There is this alpha male. When the real alpha male walks in with the power and the attention,
yeah.
in that instance,
100%.
with all the attentions on him,
But plus fame,
Yes.
money. Oh, also what I didn't 3-piece suit.
three-piece
Three-piece suit.
Oh,
I was like, well, how do you keep it slick back here? I was like, God damn, I wish my hair was slick back. I look like an asshole.
He's
shaved
walking
head.
in to clean up.
I got
He's
this
walking in.
goddamn Echo shirt on.
No, he's walking in to say, "Hey guys, this is all fun. You guys having your fun and games. I'm gonna take my pick. I'm gonna grab the fruit. I'm gonna grab the.
Oh no,
grab the fruit, fill my belly.
No, oh no.
And then you guys get the scraps.
He ordered some nice wine, a couple drinks,
Yeah.
couple desserts, and left with the girl.
Of course,
before
he did.
dinner was over.
Of course he did. And
While I
she didn't
sat
even
there,
have to know
while
anything
I
about him.
devoured the rest of his appetizers like an asshole.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Plus
hey
one for
guys,
the Toronto Maple
Thanks
Leafs.
for saving my seat.
Thanks for keeping it warm.
Thanks for keeping my seat warm because you're seat warmers. You're all seat warmers. I'm gonna take my fruit. I'm gonna fill my belly.
Fill my
And
belly.
If I got some skins left over, if I left some orange peels on the ground,
Why don't you suck
guys,
on those?
You guys go ahead and fight over those.
You guys go ahead and squeeze those out for the juice while I do my shit over here.
That's right. And if he wants to take all the girls, he'll take all the girls.
And they said, "Oh, and the money you made for fighting your last fight, I make that one apparent. So keep getting punched in the face. I'm gonna take this 3-piece Italian suit, head over here. I'm gonna get balls deep in the girl I jack off in your hotel tonight."
That's right. Now,
make sure you don't get that hot sauce all over your fingers on your dick. Have a good night.
now there's always that one girl, that one holdout who's like, "I'm not attracted to him. It doesn't do much." And you're like,
Are you talking about the ride or die?
I'm like, you're lying to yourself, but I like that because now I'm gonna
have a
zero
shot.
in. I'm gonna zero in on you.
Well, that's like if it's a herd of antelope. You caught the one with a little hiccup in its step. Little hiccup. Little hiccup in the step. What's
Sore
that?
hamstring. Sore hamstring.
A weird gait from the rest.
And you and I know in the wild that antelope don't live to see another day.
It gets eaten ass first.
Yeah.
Same as some of your sex escapades, ass first.
Well, you go ass first.
No, you do.
I have done that before.
Well, there you go.
Well, I mean,
This
as a man, there have been times when I was a young man when I was overcome with lust. I probably have been known to say, you know what, let's skip them out and push against the wall.
And by the way, I'm in that Temple of Doom asshole.
Why don't you get your rump out in the
That
air?
Army of Darkness
And I'm
asshole.
just going to get on my knees and be appalling right now. I'll be honest with you. This is very personal, and my wife listens to this, but I was a young man.
This show is X-rated as of right now.
I was a young man and dirty pig, and this girl had an impossible rump. And I remember I'm trying to be, help me with these euphemisms.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I decided to go down.
Her ass was so nice.
Indiana Jones, like, he knows he shouldn't go into the Temple of Doom, but he's got a job to do.
You got to try.
He's got a job to do. And he's not going to sit there and mope around the entrance. So the bottom line is I went, well, I don't know what I'm going to do here, but your mouth, you're beautiful, but
You nuzzled in that asshole like a groundhog.
I got to see what's going on down here. I got to see what's going on down here. And she was going, oh my God. Like,
Too much.
She was kind of appalled at my ravenous behavior. But if you're a man, don't be a baby. By the way, I'm not into the bunny hole. It's not like I'm going right for the bunny hole. That's not my thing. I'm talking about, there's something about the other side. There are more ways. There are different angles. There are different.
I feel sick.
You can go the flank. You can come. If you're in war, you're in war. You can attack from the front or you can attack from the flank.
No. If you're in meat, you want the fillet. You want that flank steak. You want the skirt steak.
There are different ways to go.
There's a bunch of ways.
Cuts.
Now, if you go to that back Army of Darkness hole, that would be
Yeah.
the skirt steak.
That's the skirt steak. But I'm not going.
Because that shit sucks.
I like skirt steak because skirt
Ugh.
and then steak. But I'm going more for the steak. I'm not going for the old. I'm not going an inch south. I'm not going, or in this case, an inch.
I don't know, man. I feel sick. How was your dinner last night, though?
It was good.
Where'd you guys go?
Nobu.
Nobu? Nobu,
You're not
Nobu,
getting out
Nobu,
of there.
Nobu. No.
You're not getting out of there without paying a fortune.
Yeah, bitch. You made plans at Nobu in Malibu. What'd you think was going to happen?
Well, my boy saw the beautiful Natalie Portman there with her child, and she's a tiny gal, but so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty in a pair of jeans. And a
How was your
t-shirt.
dinner? You didn't do shit when you saw her. How was your dinner, though?
She was like, she looked at me and she goes,
I want you in
I'm
the next Star Wars.
Such a huge fan.
I want you in the next
She
Star
said, I
Wars.
want you in the next Star Wars, and I'm such a fan. And I said, I don't have time to go do a movie because I have the fighter and kids. She goes, I know, I'm a huge fan, and I listen to it a lot.
She goes, is there any way you can give me Big Brown's number? I need a baby daddy for this baby. I heard
That's
he's
exactly
great.
what she said. She said, I'm looking for a man. I can't find a man. I need a big man.
And then she said we were doing a remake of The Professional, and we want him to play the assassin.
Oh, that'd be good.
I have the glasses like the professional had.
How would you play an assassin? I know how.
Look
I would.
at me.
Yeah, but emotionally.
Assassins are just...
Emotionally, how would you play it? Can I tell you how you play an assassin? No joke. Can I tell you how I would coach you? This is acting. You ready for acting? So give me an idea of what your mindset would be as an assassin.
Well, they have a job, right? It's a job. It's pretty cold-hearted. So
Okay.
there's no emotion. It's a job. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but that's true. But then as an actor, you're
It's like
playing,
buying a cup of coffee.
But as an
you want
actor,
me to kill the
you're
guy?
playing a robot,
You want me
right?
to buy some coffee?
What if it's
Same
about?
shit.
But what if you're starring in it? You're playing. See, because the problem with that is now you're playing a robot. So you, as an actor, you have to make an emotional choice to make it interesting.
I gotta see the script.
Can I tell you how I play it? Can I tell you how you make it interesting? This is an acting lesson, psychologically. The great actor would say, I'm playing an assassin. Most actors would say, I'm cold, I'm hard, and I kill somebody. I think the way you make it emotionally interesting is if you play an assassin who may just turn the gun.
On himself.
Thank you. Give me a pound. I can't believe you just got that. On himself. Because he can't do this anymore. Because he's lost his entire ideology.
Well, go get another fucking job. I'm not watching that movie.
He can't get another.
Why would you kill
Dude,
yourself?
Excuse me. He can't get
He has
another
those
job.
skills.
Get another job. They'll kill him. He's locked in for life, bro. You don't walk away from an assassin.
It's in or out.
Hey, guys. You know what? I decided I'm going to get a villa in Tuscany. Can I get all my money owed to me?
Bro,
The people you work with aren't that
how about
nice.
how about this? I'm just spitballing ideas here.
Yeah.
Guy and a girl, married. They live together, but they're both assassins.
Okay, now
They want out.
Stop. I'm gonna have to
So
stop
they
you.
combine together
Gonna have
to
to stop
fight
you.
the.
It's been done. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Ah, fuck!
Damn it! But it was
God
a good idea.
oh,
but it
man,
was a
you had
good
me.
idea.
I'm just spitballing here.
It was a
I'm
good
just spitballing here. Hey, what
idea.
movie was it where Sylvester Stallone's an assassin? Come on, you're too young, gay. You're too old. Come on, Evan.
Oh, I know.
It's not Demolition. He's not an assassin in Demolition.
How
Man, is he?
dare
No,
you?
no,
He's
no.
a cop.
Yeah,
Wesley
yeah,
Snipes
yeah,
is the
cop.
demolition.
Was that
Yeah.
in? Wait, was that with Eric Roberts?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, it was with Eric Roberts.
But there's a
And it's called-
Sylvester Stallone's an assassin.
Yep. And it's called.
There's a girl.
And it's called.
What do you want?
Is it fucking called Assassins?
No, it's not because
1995,
that's
Sylvester Stallone.
That's Antonio Banderas,
What do
right?
you want me
Yeah,
to
that's
do?
Antonio Banderas.
But there's
That's-
another
I think
one.
that
and
might-
Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, that
Hold
might
on,
be it.
let me see.
Yeah, don't treat me like a mark. I ain't a mark. Remember that? It was a bad movie, actually.
Hold on. No, it wasn't. How dare you? Let me just see what movie I'm talking about real quick.
Yeah.
Here.
Stallone. Assassins. Hollywood.
I was like, we're all just gonna feel like.
Do you know?
No,
do you
I'll
know
find it right.
that the
Well,
US
first of all, Tango and Cash, watch your fucking mouth because that was my childhood.
do you know that the U.S. military has female assassins?
It was The Specialist,
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It's called The Specialist.
and
with Eric
Sharon
Roberts.
Stone was in it.
Yep, and Eric
Ray
Roberts.
Quick?
What?
Ray Quick is his character's name.
The
the
Specialist.
And Sharon Stone was a smoke show in
Yes,
that movie.
she was. Yes, she was. And speaking of which, there are female assassins. We use female assassins, which I didn't realize.
Was
but
it? Well, who was it who had all the Israeli girls were?
Well, the Israelis a lot of times use female bodyguards with the idea that, and this is what I've read. I don't have
Because there was a guy in leadership role who had all female
I don't know.
security. Remember that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
they have a lot of female security because, according to the Israelis, from what I've read, women are very good. They from a very young age, they get much better
read
at
people?
reading their surroundings because they have to because the world's dangerous.
Yeah, but
They're
if-
smaller and stuff, so women are.
But if homeboys roll
women
up with
pick on stuff.
AK-47s,
Sorry.
but I guess if it's hand-to-hand combat and you get some gnarly dudes up there, you might run into some issues.
That's an issue, but they have
Guns.
They have guns. They don't fuck
Chinese
around.
stars.
If you want to see something incredible on YouTube, there's a hostage situation, and I think it's in Taiwan or maybe Thailand. It's mind blowing, and this guy has a gun to a woman's head outside a store, and it's a standoff. And dude, you see this camera crew kind of off to the side. And out of nowhere, this camera journalist woman
Yeah, it's called fake. Keep going.
in a white pants and like a jacket, like, looks like a,
Reporter?
Dude, she just goes, ah, like jumps forward, goes, ah, boom, 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 and just shoots this dude with a headshot 3 times. Ga, 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 ga. And then that guy just dies, and he just dies right as he's holding the woman. I mean, it was so fast you don't even see it, and you can't believe she came out of nowhere. You wonder about that kind of training. They're like, let's get a woman, young lady. You're gonna be La Femme Nikita, and you're gonna train. It's an interesting
That is interesting.
world, man. You got to see that on YouTube. Somebody,
I thought they don't show death on YouTube.
they sure do.
Do they?
Sure do.
Before it gets flagged?
Yeah.
I bet they don't anymore, but it used to be the Wild Wild West,
Do you
Oh,
remember?
wait a minute. I've seen it. No, as in recently, I've seen.
Well, I know it could be
seen
up there
some
for a while,
pretty
then it
crazy
gets
stuff.
flagged.
Oh, is that
they'll
right?
flag it and take it
Oh.
down.
Flag it, take it down.
Because there's another hostage situation I saw
Why
where
you
the guy
watching
with a
hostage
rifle
situations?
shot the guy.
Why would you watch that shit?
Oh, because I
don't watch
because
that.
somehow I was
You went
the
down
reason
that
is I
bunny
read
hole?
about it and then it was
It's
on YouTube,
nasty.
and so I went to it.
Did
I
you,
don't like
do you
watching
remember? Did you guys grow up? You might be too young, Kate. Callan, you might have been in. Well, you might
Careful, I
have.
was probably 30.
You about to drop an E-Bombs
I
world
was
on
probably
me?
30.
No, not E-Bombs World, but Faces of Death.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, I remember that site. I never went to it.
It was VHS.
Yeah, it
I don't know
used
if
to
it's
be
a site. VHS.
It was a website.
They had like 3. I'm sure they made it in their website, but they had like 3 VHSs.
Yeah.
It was just
Saw it
people
all.
dying.
Saw it all. Just
Nope.
executions in Africa.
Executions, cartel shit. Some dude hang gliding, and he hang glides into the Everglades, and alligators eat him. People jumping out of planes, committing suicide, jumping off buildings.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I couldn't, even as a kid, my friends would turn on like, oh my God, I feel sick.
Well, what's
I
that-
had to run away.
What's
I couldn't
that
watch it.
documentary on the bridge, on the Golden Gate Bridge? It's called The Bridge.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Have you seen? You know how many people jump off the Golden
It's the
Gate
number one
Bridge?
suicide place in
Yeah.
America.
How many people a year do you think, on average,
How many people actually make the jump or attempt to?
make the jump?
200.
Couple. Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere around a couple hundred,
That's
300.
a lot. 24.
Well, it's not
What I
too bad, is
understand.
it?
Not as bad as I was thinking it would be.
Guys,
Hey, once a
take it
month.
easy. Well, now they have nets underneath. They put a bunch of nets underneath. to
Some
catch
people survive.
There have been survivors.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, there have been survivors.
Yeah, I remember that face. I can't watch any of that stuff. That Face of the Death scares the shit on me.
Yeah, I remember that stuff floating around the internet when I was a kid, like when the internet was like just starting to kind of like become like a thing that everyone had. Nope. Hard pass. Wouldn't even give it a shot. I was like, I knew what I was getting myself into. Not going down.
No, I don't want nightmares. I like to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I was thinking, and I think Kay reminded me of this, and it goes along with the book I'm reading. You might be able to speak on this, B. So Kay ordered some Dunkaroos. Again, you're too old for that. You know what Dunkaroos are, right?
One of the all-time great American snacks.
They took them away for a while, but it's like a cookie that comes with a side of icing. You dunk it in, and it's a kangaroo Dunkaroos. There's chocolate, vanilla. They're fucking brilliant. So she bought some off of Amazon. But I remember as a kid thinking how great that stuff was, and that like made your day. You as a kid, you lived in the moment, right? Like that day you had your friend, if it was the summer, you wake up, you play video games, go outside for the rest of the day. You weren't thinking about the tomorrow or Friday or bills or anything like that. And then I was reading in Steve Martin's book, Born Standing Up, how he was saying he achieved fame, everything he wanted. He couldn't walk down the street. He felt awkward. And he got his start at Disneyland. He'd play the banjo there, and he'd work in the magic shop, and everything was so simple, and all he wanted to do was do his magic and tell jokes and do all this stuff. And he finally, he got so famous, he went back, and he said he thought it was going to be like, bring back these great memories, but it brought back sadness. Because when he went back, he was like, this was such a simpler time, and like life was so much better for me, and I could actually focus on the art. And now people come up to him and they say, hey, Steve. And he goes, hey, and they start laughing. He's like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like I'm not trying to be funny. So to me, I was thinking about it, and my life's fucking great, but I was thinking about it. I get certain smells, they say, or memories, something triggers you going back. Mine's fresh cut lawns.
Me too.
Fresh cut lawns brings me back to when I was a kid doing football camps or wake up in the morning.
We did that. I remember when you and I got off the plane somewhere, I can't remember where it was, and you said, I love that smell of that fresh cut grass. Like you could smell
my favorite smell in the world.
Yeah.
So I remember waking up super early as a kid to run sprints. I was a kid, and even my dad, like, what are you going to do? I put my cleats on, my McGregor cleats, run sprints because I was going to the NFL.
Wow.
So I remember certain smells that trigger that
100%.
stuff. Or certain experience.
It's a smell thing for me too.
Oh,
Is it a smell thing for
all
you
of us.
also?
All of us have these.
All of them have it, but
olfactory
it can be
triggers.
smell, a situation, something someone says. There's certain things that trigger these flashbacks.
Yeah.
What's yours?
They did a study.
I guess it's a mix between the smell and like the feeling on your skin walking into a ice rink at like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Like the smell of like a fresh sheet of ice.
Yeah.
Oof. Brings me right back to like being like 11 years old playing.
So
playing
when
hockey.
I would
Best time
smell a mat, because of the weight I would suck in high school.
I hear you.
When I got to college, when I would smell a mat, I this is so weird.
Nerves?
My back, the left side of my back would seize up. Like right away. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is my back seized up? Well, I was triggering the idea that, boy, here comes wrestling and I'm going to be losing weight again, and how miserable that was, whatever it was.
It triggers a stressful time in your life.
Fight or flight.
Do you have any of that stuff, Kay?
Yeah, whenever I hear the ice cream man, like the ice cream man,
The truck? Does it still go to your neighborhood?
No, it doesn't anymore, but the bells,
Yeah.
like Echo Park.
Yeah.
They sell like the ice cream in the little carts. Like the bells trigger that for me.
It's so weird how
Yeah.
how certain things trigger those memories.
Perfume and chewing gum, because it was the first time I made out with a girl. Those kind of things. They say that.
No, there's certain perfumes that for sure that trigger me to think of old girlfriends or situations.
They did a study on boys and their nannies. And depending on the kind of, like if a boy spent a lot of time with his nanny, the kind of smell that she had, and when he was stressed and she went shh and all that stuff, and how smell played a huge factor in
Isn't it
the
interesting?
type of women they chose. Really weird.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that, like, that's why I think I don't like to watch fights in public, because when I watch the UFC, remember the last thing I fought on a shitload of main cards. The last thing I would hear is that music.
Oh,
The music, the who's it? The Who?
Yeah, Bobo O'Reilly.
Teenage Wasteland.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the last song I'd hear. So if I'm driving, that comes on,
Ooh,
I
yeah.
automatically get tensed up. I love the song, one of my favorite songs.
I know,
because it brings good memories and bad, but it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It brings up a tense time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that stuff, man. And you can reprogram your brain to have positive psychological triggers. That's what some.
There's a lot more
psychiatrists do.
positive. Well, I don't. There's. It's not even that. That's not negative when I hear that song. It just that meant it's time to go to work.
Yeah, it's time
So
to
it's
go.
not a. It's not a. I'm not gonna laugh when that song comes on.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. And I don't give a fuck what whoever that scientist or book you read. You're not reprogramming that to be positive.
No, not that.
You're not.
Oh, no.
Or the smell of grass. Let's say my brother was killed by a lawnmower. You're not gonna re-trigger the smell of lawnmowers that killed my brother to trigger happy
there
thoughts.
are extreme cases, yeah, but there are ways with PTSD and stuff that they do change the way you interpret your stressful response. So like the new psychology for stress and is this, like their heart would start racing, they get tight, and what a lot of times psychiatrists say is you got to learn how to relax,
Breathe.
Well, in fact, now they were like, maybe if you say to somebody, this is just your body getting ready for action. This is your body getting ready to go to work or whatever. And if you change the way you think about that response, it can have huge implications for how your body then reacts to it, actually. So you can actually create endorphins, and you can change just by the way you look at it. What stress psychologists do now is they say, just look at it differently, as in this is your body getting ready to go to work, and now maybe channel that into something else.
I get it. This is from psychologists who haven't been through and I'm not saying fighting similar to war, but that's such a stressful time when you're nervous. And if you go, well, and I've had a million mental coaches, a ton of fighters have, they try doing the same thing. Remember, it's your body getting ready to perform. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's the killer across. Is that how I'm supposed to deal with it? How many fights you been in your life? 0. I have a master's. I was balls deep in books while you were busy fighting.
And you have a master's.
And you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna breathe and my body's gonna accept this and it's all good.
Well, what are you gonna do though? How do you?
You just got those nerves are. It's part of fight. It's what you signed up for.
Because I talked to a Navy.
It's what you signed up for.
I talked to a Navy SEAL who said that the way
it's like getting mad if I jump in the pool getting wet. It's what you signed up for.
This Navy SEAL said the way he dealt with nerves is like you're always nervous. The idea that you're not going to be scared when you go into you're clearing a room or whatever. And he said what he would do is he'd go, "Wow, I'm really nervous right now. I'm nervous as shit, but this is how I'm feeling. But I'm still going to operate within these confines."
But what are you gonna? That's what separates the heroes from the zeros. Is everyone feels those nerves. Certain guys can go, "Cool, I'm nervous as fuck. I'm terrified." But I have a job to do.
It's like you say, you go, everybody's nervous. Any fighter
before
that
no. Forget of course fighting. Football guys are nervous.
Yeah.
Stand up. If it's a big stand up show, I'm terrified. Yeah. But there's a difference between going, okay, I'm nervous, and then you conquer that and keep moving. Yeah. Some people shut down.
Kelly Slater was talking about the greatest surfer ever. Was just talking. I just saw an interview today. He was saying, because he almost died. He got knocked out on pipeline
a couple times.
Yeah, and then he literally he came to underwater, and this is how experienced he is. Underwater, he went, I shouldn't breathe. I should just keep my breath. And he kept swimming. And on the 7th stroke, he was like, where am I? And then he reached up and felt his hand kind of in sea foam. Got up, breathed some water in sea foam. Another wave hit him, and then he got rolled onto the reef and well, actually on shore. And all these French people were taking pictures of him, thinking he was okay. He was going into shock.
About to die.
He's going into shock, and he almost drowned. But he said that the nerves, you always get huge nerves. He was talking about. He goes, look, I can get knocked out on the reef. I can get drowned. And he said, when I'm surfing Mavericks, which is in San Francisco, the water is insanely cold, and there have been 3-4 great white shark attacks. You're always nervous. You're going to be nervous in the competition.
Is anyone surprised by that? I don't think. Well, I don't think anyone's surprised.
But when somebody's a master at something like Kelly Slater, right, who's still winning world titles at 40 something, you go, well, you're a master. You're a Zen master at this. Of course, you're not nervous. But of course,
there's more pressure on him.
You know that, though. You know that because you've been in high-level competition your whole life. When people have never been in high-level competition, think about somebody who's never done a sport. Think about somebody who did, amateur stuff. We did nothing.
See, some people aren't born with the skills to do it, or they have no interest, and then some people have the skills to do it, but they're scared of those nerves and never do anything with it.
That's right.
There's a huge difference.
Yes.
There's some people that's just not their interest. Maybe they're more into they want to be a veterinarian or whatever. So sports in their thing. I get that. I wish I was more like that. But then there's some people who maybe they have the body of, J.J. Watt, but they're scared to put it on the line.
Yeah.
And those are the people who live with regret and criticize a lot of other people.
You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it all the time.
It's crazy to me, man.
Yeah. You can see it all the time.
And those are also those same guys that we talked about with nerves who go on to perform. I'm sure you see it in stand-up guys who are great if they're doing shows in LA. If they're doing where it's comfortable at the Comedy Store or the Laugh Factory, where they're always used to the same crowd, the same people, what's up, same routine. And they go, cool, man, live show, Wilbur Theater, Boston. And they go, oh, shit.
Well,
they don't perform the same way.
That's a really good point, because one of the things that I see all the time with comics that drives me crazy is I know very talented comics who never change their act, who never keep writing. And and it's like for me, like
I'm glad you brought this up.
I had a conversation with this young guy who was asking me these questions, and he was young and he was ambitious, like good-looking kid, and he wants to be an actor, and so he had seen the show I was at, and he's asking me these questions at 100 miles an hour. And I said this, and but it made sense. I kind of said, I looked at him, I said, I think you're putting your energy into being ambitious and not creative, and I think you need to think of, like, this is a lot of energy that you're trying to, like, you're asking me questions about essentially how to get ahead in this business, which is, there is a business side to this business, of course, but I said, at your stage, you need to be thinking, because you want to be a comic, you need to be thinking creatively.
Yeah, not about the business.
Yeah, your energy, that'll come. Your energy needs right now to be on getting the best product and be, how good can you be?
Yeah, so
how good can you be at your skill set? So I can be beginning as a fighter. Hey, Brennan, man. So sponsors, talk to me. You're like, bro. You got to learn how to fight. There's a long road here.
So that kid, so he thinks maybe he's doing this work in this lane. So it's no different than I'm a sprinter, but to get ready for the sprint that I think I'm doing, I'm running marathons.
There you go.
You're like, whoa, you're working. Yes.
Yeah.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
Right.
You should be dealing with creativity, trying to get good content, and then go from there, get yourself established and get reps.
And I should see this all the time.
I see young guys with you, and I never say anything, but I want to be like, well, he's not going to make it. It's no different than sports. They'll come up to you and go, hey, man, blah, blah, I'm doing this, blah, blah, this. Or they'll ask me, right? Like, I have stand-up experience like Bryan, but hey, man, I want to do open mics, blah, blah. And Bryan will go, yeah, man, there's a million open mics. So it's LA. Like, there's a million. He goes, well, I went to the Comedy Store, man. I couldn't get on, so I haven't been back in 6 months.
Yeah.
My brain goes, click, waste of time, keep moving.
And you, like, it was really interesting because people, like, you do stand-up before the show, our live shows, hashtag Phoenix, July 29th, 30th. And I was really impressed because, and this is the best thing about what you're doing, is you're already exhausted with that. And this is so rare, dude.
I hate it.
You hate it.
I'm embarrassed.
And you're
of it.
already writing new shit because you went over it for me and I was like, this stuff is really good. But that kind of restlessness, because you're insane. You're off the charts with that stuff. But for someone who's getting into this the way you're doing this, that mindset is such a winning mindset because you all right, I did that, all that other stuff at Wilbur. I'm ready to change it all up. The number of people that do that who are professional comics is so minimal.
But
they stick to.
There's a reason though, right?
Laughter. They just want the laughter.
There's a reason because, and you know better than anyone. You tell me. I'm sure Rogan would agree. Rogan and I had this same discussion off air, but I posted about it because on Sunday, I've been working on the new set. Blah blah blah. You've been helping me. I sat down to write it, and I put on Instagram. I was like, hey man. I'm coming to Phoenix 29th, 30th, whole new set. I can't tell you guys how insanely scary it is to ditch 10 minutes that I know I can fucking kill and do. Yep. But I can't do it anymore.
And people have to understand too that you're not practicing your stand-up.
No.
It's like, hey, Brennan, listen, I want you to take 3 months off, maybe a little more, and we're going to put you in front of 550 people. Go. I don't know how you do it. It's kind of nuts, but you are going to do it. And
I do it. I love doing it. Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty nuts because you're getting no reps at all, and you're going to be great. But it's a very, very scary thing. Very few people would do that.
You know what though? I feel like it's the same as my athletic career has always been. Mm-hmm. It's like there's no warm up. There's no like dude, my first MMA fight. Like here you go. I'm like Jesus Christ.
You're literally being thrown into the wolves.
That's the thrown to the wolves should be the name of my book.
100%. But again, what do we talk about? Like we're
I wouldn't have it any other
busy
way.
as fuck, and all it is like, look, you're really good at the business side. You're really good at the business side, and you're also very creative. But like we have so many creative issues to solve, and it's a good thing. But
there's different lanes to it.
So much of our energy is every day is sort of in the realm of creativity. We stop everything and we start talking and we start coming up with ideas that make us laugh. And that sort of return, that discipline, it's not even, I don't like words like discipline. I don't like those words because they sound so fucking punitive.
Serious?
But but more like the daily attendance, our daily attendance. Like we go to class and we sit and we talk and we don't talk about other stuff. We talk about the issues at hand. And before you know it, it's like getting into a sort of a body of cold water. Your body acclimates
Yeah,
before you
and
know
they
what you're
start
doing.
rolling. I think it'd be interesting. I wish someone would write a book. Maybe it's out there. If it is, shoot me a message on Twitter. But I would love to understand some of the best comics, entertainers, writers, hip hop artists, songwriters, like how their creative process. But because I'm sure there's a theme, but from my experience, talking to Chris D'Elia, you, Rogan, Bill Burr, just tons of Whitney Cummings, all these people, everyone's kind of different.
Yes.
And it's so interesting. Like for me, if I meet with Bryan, I'll tell him like what I think. I'll have an outline, and then you'll give me new stuff to work on. Then I'll go home. I'll work on it by myself, listen to music. Then I don't
give you new stuff. I just suggest different.
No, I'm saying
think about things.
Yeah, so
these are your ideas.
These are my ideas. Then you say,
I'm not
what
writing.
What if you focus more on this?
Yeah, I'm not writing a goddamn thing.
No, but you'll say, well, instead of focus on this, maybe focus on this aspect of the story. All right, I'll focus on, and then I come back and what do you think? Like that's what exactly. So I'll do that, and then I like to be alone. I'll walk around my house with a wooden spoon like a mic, and I'll do it over and over and over and time myself. And then I call Bryan. But the best for me is if I have someone to bounce the ideas 100%. Off of. So otherwise, because what I think's funny, I don't know. I'm a weird dude. Yeah. I don't know. They might be fucking ridiculous.
Well, you have a good sense of humor, but I mean, at the end of the day, everybody there are two things to creativity. One is inspiration. So how do you get yourself inspired to even get there? And this goes for anybody out there. I think there's room. People say I'm not creative. Look, there's room to be creative in everything. The way you raise your kids, the way you inspire people, the way you come up with a new idea for a job. You might be in a job you hate, and you want to come up with a new idea for something. This precious realm of creativity doesn't just belong to the precious few. Some of it's a mindset, and we all arrive first at how to inspire ourselves to take action in the morning. I don't care if it's music, working out, or whatever, or you set your goals, or you look at your dream board, whatever the fuck it is. But also,
fuck your dream
board. The other way is there are different ways. Like I create by walking. I have to be moving, so I walk and I write. Lately, because I drive so much, I'm in the car and I just start going over it gently, and before I know it, I'm coming up with ideas. But everybody has their own way. But I do think that the process of creativity is always an act of faith. It's an act of faith. In other words, I don't know. I think this is good. I'm laughing. I'm making my boy laugh.
Yeah.
But you, at the end of the day, you're making me laugh. Like the other day, you were coming up with these ideas and I was laughing.
Yeah.
But you know that you got to then go up in front of 550 strangers in Phoenix, July 29th and 30th.
Yeah.
And here, hey guys, I made my boy laugh, but maybe my boy's laughing because he likes me. Maybe my boy's laughing but here goes. And here goes nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's scary.
See if it works.
But every creative process, everybody who did something original, everybody who did something where people went, fuck, I haven't seen that before. A lot of times, they're always afraid. They're always afraid because they don't know if it's going to be a huge failure. When Bruce Springsteen wrote Born to Run, when he was done with that album, which became this massive, massive hit and
legendary,
everything else, he said went out walking and he said, I think I might scrap this whole album because it's a piece of shit. I don't think anybody's going to like it. Like he was that, and his bandmate, I think Steve Van Zandt, was like, excuse me, dude, you got to calm down.
Yeah, we worked hard on this. It's really good.
This is great. Trust me. And that is that thing where I don't believe in myself. Everybody has doubt. Everybody who's famous, everybody who did great things, I'm telling you, they've done
super sensitive.
If you read their biographies, everybody from Gandhi to Martin Luther King to you name it.
What's the first thing I told you about Steve Martin? I got done with his book and I'm like, dude, not a confident guy.
Not a confident guy.
Yeah. Steve Martin.
Not surprising to me at all. Why in the fuck would you be a comic if you were confident?
You know what's crazy with Steve Martin? He said, he was just struggling, blah, 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 living in L.A. And all he cared about was being a headliner. Because he was like, I don't give a fuck how many tickets I sell as long as my name's on the board. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So he said he did the headline. No one showed up, and he told the guy, I think it was in New York, his first headline. He told the guy, he's like, I'm sorry, man. We just called it shake hands and call it a deal. I'll leave because no one's showing up. And so he starts doing more stuff, and then he was surprised because he said before he'd go out, he asked the guy, And you do this, I don't like doing this.
Yeah.
I don't like doing this at all because I don't, if there's 2 people or 2,000, it's going to be the same show. I don't want to know how many are out there because I'm going to do my thing. Steve Martin does what you do before he goes out. He goes, how many are out there? So Steve Martin, he was showing the process and it was brilliant. Says he's walking out there and he had a little bit of fame because he was on Johnny Carson and it was his 16th time on there. And he was saying he went on there the first time and he thought it was going to change his life, and he went to the store and like no one knew who he was. So he goes, and the second time, like, all right, this is it, man. No one knows who he is. The 5th time, no one knows who he is. The 10th time, he's like, I can't. I mean, still wasn't booking shit. And I thought I was doing well. Like even Johnny said I was doing well. And then he goes, then the 16th time I go out there and I guess I kill it. I get a stand ovation and I'm at a supermarket and this lady goes, hey, you're the young guy from Johnny Carson, right? And he goes, yes, I am. She goes, oh, I hated that bit. He's like, okay, well. So anyways, so he starts to do shows after that. And he's getting ready to go out and he goes, how many people? And the guy goes, 200. He goes, Jesus Christ, 200 people? He goes, yeah. And he goes, fast forward 6 months. He goes, how many people are out there? He goes, 800. He goes, 800 fucking people out there? He goes, yeah. He goes, what the fuck are 800 people doing out there? Fast forward another year. How many people are out there? 1,600. He goes, fuck, 1,600 people bought tickets to see this bullshit show? He's like, yeah, man, 1,600. Fast forward a little longer. How many people are out there? 16,000, sir. And he's like, this is insane.
Insane.
This is insane. And then he talks about that process and it's brilliant, man. But then he talks about how after a while he didn't know if he was funny and creative and if it was original because people would laugh at anything. Like he would literally come out and be like, what's up, everyone? People die laughing. He's like, well, I don't know anymore. So the final straw was he was doing these shows and he was booked. Listen, this is how big. I didn't realize how Steve Martin. He was before my time. This is in the 70s.
He was a giant.
He was booked for 4 years straight, sold out. Booked. He could look for 4 years. He was touring for 4 years and was completely sold out. But like couldn't.
That's so nuts.
For 4 years. So he was like,
nuts.
it was overwhelming, but he had to do the same routine.
Yeah, that'll
because they wanted. And then he goes, people would
wild and crazy guy.
They said people would shout it out as he's doing it. And he's like, and started to get out of control, and that took away from his creativity. And then he had this thing where, like a little guitar would come down from the ceiling. A little guitar would always come down, and it was his last show. 3 shows in a row, back to back. The guitar got stuck, and so he's like, all right, whatever, man. So he said something to the guy. But he was real cool. Next show, guitar gets stuck. He's like, motherfucker. But people are laughing. He's like, this isn't my show, man. This isn't what I'm doing. 3rd show is the final show of all time. He's like, all right, well, they're obviously going to get on this 3rd time. Who knows if the guy who
sabotaging
was fucking with didn't come down. And everyone's dying laughing. He's like, fuck this. Fold up his stuff. Never did stand up again.
Never did stand up again. Yeah, you get to a point where that's it. That's it. You know, I'm done.
So the end of the book, no spoiler. I mean, Steve Martin, he's been around forever, and he's written, I think, like 4 books. But the beginning talks about how he was. Went to Disneyland, got to start there, blah blah blah, and how it was so like that was to him, it was so pure there, and then he goes back after all these years. And he thought he was going to be happy and he was going to bring back these great feelings. That actually made him sad because he had to come in through a secret gate. Yeah. He couldn't just walk into the store.
Well, it's lonely. You're kept away from all the people that, you are suddenly treated as though you are very different, when in fact what happened was you had a skill set that seemed to isolate you. Tony Robbins talks about that. He gets a lot of celebrities and very well, like who deal with this a lot. They get to a point where they get super famous, but then they get super lonely because they can't really share with other people.
You can't trust anyone. Well, Steve Martin was saying the same thing. That I know I'm just on Steve Martin's nuts right now, but listen,
he's a legend.
I just got done with the book, and he's a legend. And for me,
that's an important case study about success.
That exactly. So if doing the stand up that I'm doing the shows I'm doing, the way I can kind of speed things along my education is by reading the insight to these historic comedians.
Yes.
I'm learning how they're doing stuff, blah, blah, blah. So Steve Martin says that how he got to a certain fame and he hated it because there was hidden agendas from everyone. He'd meet someone and they would act like it was his long lost friend. He's like, it was a stranger. Maybe they needed something. They had a show to pitch to me. I didn't know. So he stopped, he says you stop making friends because you cut everyone, because you have no idea their motives anymore.
Chris Rock talked about that a little bit too. He didn't trust anybody. You know, like, what about your mom? He's like, I didn't trust anybody. All right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's like anything else. There's a payoff. They talk about how people have very strange relationships with money. So you know, they'll say, like, a lot of times they say one of the things that keeps people from making money is their mindset about money, because they have a duality. There's this idea that
Say duality?
money, you know, like there's sort of like there's a negative and a positive in most people's minds. Money's the root of all evil. Yeah, I'll make a lot of money, but I won't have time to spend it. You know, I'll be
Said no
so
one
busy.
ever.
Yeah, well, but you hear this a lot, and people
Yeah.
have this very strange thing about, you know, yeah, he's just doing it for the money. There's a lot of the money has very dirty negative
Heavy
connotations.
connotation.
And some people they find that a lot of people that make a lot of money don't have those ideas. In fact, they weren't thinking about the money. A lot of times the money was the money is a really nice byproduct, but they were thinking, for example, about building something. So my
Yes.
buddy's got way too much money and he doesn't need any more money. I said, what drives you? He goes, oh, I have money. I have money forever. He said, I like to build things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm traveling. I want to see if I can actually build this thing to where I want it. So again, he's thinking creatively. He's not thinking ambitiously. And sometimes your mindset is very, very important. And I do think a lot of young people, and I did it, everybody's thinking ambitiously. I want to be famous, or I want to be successful. Well, hold on.
Well, you're going to get left in the dust if you do that, because you're going to find a guy who's his passion. He could give two shits about the paycheck. And if
Yeah.
it's sports,
I would
comedy,
see
they're going to outwork you.
I would see
It's
it.
not
I would
gonna
see
work.
it with actors, like the good ones that would work, and the guys that left us all behind. I would see it with, like, they would come in.
They
and
enjoy
would
the
get
art.
job because they were just so ready for the acting job. They weren't so much worried about the other stuff. They were just in there with a character,
Yeah.
and they had a sweater
For
on.
the
You're like,
love
why
of it.
didn't I wear that fucking sweater? And why is he wearing glasses? Does he wear glasses? No, you know.
For the role.
Yeah, like Jeremy Piven, when he got Old School, they said nah, and he goes, oh, well, what do you need? He goes, yeah, you're just too, you know, macho for the role, or something like that, or you're the kind of guy that wouldn't be a nerdy dean. He goes, oh, excuse me a second, let me go buy some terrible glasses and an even more terrible sweater. And let me comb my hair to the other side of my head and watch this. And then they were like, oh, you're 100% the
Yeah,
character.
no shit.
Yeah.
Great
you can't,
character.
unless you're him and you've been on stage since you were 8 and know
He
how
knows
to do
what they're
that.
looking for.
That
He's like, what?
motherfucker-
You want to do what?
Yeah. What? No? Did you just say no to me?
A dean?
You said
you
no
don't
to
think
me?
he play a fucking dean?
Right. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm undeniable.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. And again, an actor. What he does is that he's not
True
thinking about...
craftsman. Like he's...
He didn't go into the idea, they don't like me. He went, oh, I just got to change my approach. Oh, what? Oh, you need a character? Oh, what? Oh, okay. Oh, let me...
no one else can do what he... You know what I'm
His
saying?
energy
What?
right there. Yeah.
All these dopes sitting in line?
I mean, you know.
We,
It's a good
yeah.
lesson. It's a good
Boom.
lesson, man. Good lesson.
We got some fights this weekend we need to break down.
break down.
Fight talk. Fight talk.
It's fight talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Fight talk in the Windy City. It's Chirac. It's fucking Chirac.
Fight talk in the Windy City.
It is. It is in the Windy City, Chicago on Saturday. It's on Big Fox, not FS1, so everybody should be able to check this out.
Fight talk
let's
in the
go
Windy
through.
City.
All right.
Fight
First
talk.
one, we'll go through a couple of these.
Just give us the main ones,
Yeah.
Ev. Don't be
Give
giving
us-
me that.
give us the
Don't,
main
don't
ones.
give us those bullshit.
Holly
I'm
Holm
going to give you
versus
three.
Shevchenko.
I'm going to give you three.
no,
three main
wow,
cards.
see, that's the main
Three
event.
main card.
Fuck.
Sorry.
So, first one kicking off the main card is Felice Herrig against Kylan Curran. You've trained with Kylan, right?
Yeah. She was. She's trained by Ryan Parsons, who's my wrestling coach. Who's a brilliant coach, smart dude. Was also Chael's coach, Dan Henderson's coach. He's a beast. Yeah, Kern's a little monster, man. That's a tough fight for her with Herring.
Herring, I've always found
Herring's
to be very
Herring.
attractive.
Herring.
Herring.
Yeah.
I've seen her
Yeah,
in person.
she is bodied.
Yeah.
Kylan or Felice?
Both
Or
both
really?
are very attractive.
Yeah.
Kylan's
But
a cutie pie.
but Felice Instagram, she's
Yeah. Yeah, she's delicious.
nice tan.
But when I watched Paige Van Zandt fight Herring,
Paige fought both of these girls.
Yeah.
Beat
I,
both
when
of
I
them.
watched the Herring fight. I didn't see the other one. I don't know how did she beat how badly did she beat up Curran?
That was close.
It was closer because it wasn't so close.
I mean, I would say that the Paige Felice performance was more dominant.
For sure, right?
What
yeah,
were
I
you
think
going
so. Didn't Paige finish Kylan?
Yeah, she did. TKO, right?
Let me look this up real quick.
She did finish her. It was a close fight till then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she.
And that's
So just on-
that's like the fight that was. I think that was their first fight,
Yeah, it was.
and that's what put her on the map. Kern's a little beast, man. That's
Yeah,
a-
she TKO'd her in the third.
yeah,
Late in the third.
That's a fun fight.
What's your
Herring. Well, I don't know Herring. She's a dime.
You know how girls-
she's a dime piece, but Kern, I know her.
call? You know how
so.
girls go, I like him because he's cuter.
That's what's going on right now.
That's what's going on. So I don't know. I got to
So
see
you're going with
Karen.
Kylan?
Yes.
I'm going with Herrick. She's my
Based on the
girlfriend.
cuter scale, I'm also going with Kylan.
They're both cute. Let me see Kylan. I might change my mind.
Little tatted up Hawaiian chick.
Yeah.
Tatted up.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's
know
too
I got
far
a
away
weakness
right
for
now, but-
tattoos.
It's all good. You got Herring, man. You don't need to see
Hey,
her.
man, let
It's
me
getting
take a look at
creepy.
it.
No, you're good. That's
Take a
weird.
look,
That's
man.
weird, man.
Why? Because I'm 50?
Yeah. Little
relax.
girl. She dates a pro surfer, too. He's a little beast. If they had kids, man.
Yeah.
Can't much compete with a
What else you
bullshit.
got?
That fight's going to be really exciting one way or the other. The co-main event we'll go to Edson Barboza, Gilbert Melendez. That's a scrap.
Melendez off suspension. First fight off
Yeah,
suspension.
after a year.
People forget that he tested positive.
Definitely going to go with Barbosa. All due respect to the great Gilbert Melendez, who I love. But definitely going
That's
with
a good.
Barbosa.
That's a tough matchup. Do you know the favorite?
I do not.
I would assume
It's gotta be
Barboza
Barboza.
is his favorite after Melendez coming off that layoff in the suspension.
Definitely. Barbosa's been fighting a lot, too. And I think he's way more athletic and so fast.
Yeah,
He's
it's
so fast.
fighting though.
Barboza is a favorite.
Yeah.
big favorite.
No, not a huge
Small.
favorite.
That's a
he's
tough
he's
matchup,
about
man.
minus 250.
Yeah, that's shit. That's not
It's
bad.
a good favorite.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Melendez is
Barboza.
amazing always, but
You know, I like that matchup for Gil, though.
Me too. I
Why?
think he can out
Pressure.
pressure. He doesn't sit on the outside. He's not gonna be able to get those kicks off.
Exactly.
Gil mixes it up. His grappling's obviously amazing. He's beat some of the best. He's resume wise, he's beat way better fighters than Barboza.
Yeah.
That's for sure my upset pick of the card.
And Gil kind of swings pretty wide. Barboza's hands are always like that really tight Muay Thai stance, so it'd be not out of the realm of possibilities to get one of those around his hands.
I mean,
Crack
it's
the
not a
temple.
bad matchup for Gil.
I
I don't
love
think it's a bad matchup for him at all.
I love Gilbert Melendez, but I'm going to go with Barbosa. Also because Gilbert's been off for a year.
Yeah.
And Barboza's been in
That's a fair
some
pick for
wars
sure.
recently, too.
What's that?
Barboza's been in some wars recently. Gil is like,
Yeah,
he's
but
coming off
he's
suspension,
been on
but
the
he's also
he's been on
rested.
the delivering end of for the most part of those wars. You know, he's
You've been in some wars though. You don't have wars and just.
no.
Otherwise, it'd be an
it
ass
takes
kick.
its toll.
Otherwise, it'd be an ass kick.
It takes its toll, but I wonder. It's a good point.
You
But I
can't
mean,
you can't say it was a war, but he was on just the punching end of it because that's not a war. That'd be just an ass whooping.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think he sustained a lot of damage in those fights. Did he?
I mean, Tony Ferguson fucking put it on him.
Yeah, that was a.
Tony Ferguson's a rough fucker.
For the last couple of fights, Barboza.
You don't know, do you?
He got.
You really don't know.
I've
It's all
watched-
good.
I've seen every one of his
It's all
fights,
good.
though. I mean,
yeah,
that
you don't
recently-
remember it. Yeah, it's all
Pettis-
good.
the Pettis
that Tony
fight was
Ferguson fight
fine.
took some damage.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, he got put it on him by Ferguson. He
Tony's
fought
rough.
Anthony Pettis, Paul Felder, lost to Michael Johnson, got finished by Cowboy back in 2014. He's been in some
he
straight
got choked out.
slugfest.
It's a good fight.
Yeah,
It's a really good fight.
Who you got? Got to make a call, Bry.
Oh, I'm definitely going Barbosa.
I mean, Barboza's the easy, safe pick. If I wanted to please everyone and act like I know what I'm talking about, I'd take Barboza. But I like Melendez in the upset.
Me too.
I like his fighting style against Barboza.
As do I.
Coming off that suspension, though, that PED stuff's always tricky. That's a tricky pick.
That's a tricky pick.
And USADA is some hound dogs.
The couple hound dogs.
That takes us to our main event: Holly Holm against Valentina Shevchenko.
Svezhenko.
Shevchenko or
Shevchenko.
Shevchenko's it's going to be interesting because apparently Shevchenko has more submissions than she does TKOs, which is crazy. At least in the octagon, or at least in MMA.
Not in the
obviously,
octagon.
Obviously,
Not-
she's,
not in the
obviously she's a decorated
Not in the
Muay
UFC.
Thai fighter.
No, it'll be a stand-up fight for sure.
Well, her wrestling. She's taken like the last fight she had with Hoffman. She fucking was throwing her, and she was dominating. She's mounting her, and so her wrestling's really good.
Hoffman.
Yeah, Kaufman or whatever.
Oh, Sarah Kaufman. I
Yeah.
was like, who the hell?
Yeah,
Sarah
not
Kaufman?
Hoffman.
Sarah Kaufman.
Or Hoffman.
Yeah. Sarah Kaufman. Sorry, I said Kaufman.
You said Hoffman.
You said Hoffman.
I did.
I just
I meant Kaufman. How am I gonna remember her name?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But she dominated. She wrestled the shit out of her.
Yeah, that Hoffman, she got after it.
That Hoffman.
Not Hoffman. All they did is wrestle. Well, excuse me, sir.
Took a beating.
Sir.
Hofferman.
She surprised her with takedowns. This will be a straight stand-up
Here's the thing about
matchup.
what I've seen.
And you're not. It's gonna be tough to take Holly down. It's gonna be a straight. It's gonna be a pressure fighter versus a counter puncher with Holly. I think Holly gets the job done. It's a great matchup for Holly.
I don't know if I'm right, but it looked like
Okay.
Shevchenko didn't move her head much like she does. She just comes straight at you, head down, bulls into you, and gets you into the fence.
Yeah.
She tries to do that with Holly.
Yeah, it's night. So who you got, man?
I'm gonna have to go with Holly Holmes.
I got
But
Holly.
listen,
I got Holly, man.
she's a killer. That woman is I guess she's like a
She's a world champion. Muay Thai, yeah.
freaky Muay Thai. So I don't know, tough, strong as shit.
I got Holly in that
not
fight.
an easy
They
fight.
need Holly. They need Holly to win for sure.
Agreed.
Your boy Chad Mendez got spent 2 years.
2 years.
Did they ever report what he got suspended for?
Yes.
What is
they
it?
did. I was actually literally just reading about it a minute
Do
ago.
they have to release what the test positive for?
Helwani actually clarified that. Once USADA finishes their education process, I guess once the whole thing is completely finished, they can announce what he tested positive for on their end. They don't have to wait for the fighter. If the process is still technically ongoing, then they can't announce it.
I'm asking, do they have to release what they tested positive for? You know what I'm saying? Because in the NFL, it just goes player suspended for violating performance-enhancing drugs policy. They won't say Molly or it could be anything. Well, because that's what Von Miller got suspended for is Molly. Wes Welker got suspended for Molly. Yeah, he missed like 2 or 3 games, I think. But
I have to do a little more research, but as far as Helwani goes, he said that the reason USADA announced what he tested for is because the education process is complete, and that's their protocol.
it makes sense. What is it though?
He got popped for. Let me open up this article real quick.
He was a thick little
I have
fella.
a theory on this.
For
Let's hear what it is.
GHRP6, also known as growth hormone releasing hexapeptide.
Okay.
So it's not it's not as far over on the spectrum of, I guess, performance enhancers as like an anabolic steroid, but it's not like
Sounds like a precursor
it's not like it was
for
like a minor thing either. It's like somewhere in the middle.
2 years. If you get the full 2 years, that means you were doing some shit.
Yeah.
Full 2 years, they're like, bro, come on.
And of course, we all know that these guys.
Is this your theory
yeah,
right now?
This is my theory.
All right, let's hear this.
Well, first of all, we know that USADA. I don't think it's a mystery to fighters. If it's not a mystery to me, it definitely can't be a mystery to fighters. That USADA is very good at catching people doing drugs. They're pretty damn thorough. They have a lot of resources and a lot of money, and they're catching guys. And so apparently, when you're doing whatever this peptide release hormone thing is, blah blah blah. As a fighter, you gotta know. You got to know you're taking a giant risk, and that means 2 years off, and that means a lot of money, right? I think I know a little bit about human psychology, maybe because I have my own issues with it. I think that is a form of self-sabotage, and I think it's a way of, whether it's subconscious or not, I think people who do that now, when you know how easy it is to get caught, I feel like it's a way to take a break.
I disagree 100%. I don't think you'd be more wrong. Because in professional sports, it's so it's just what happens in professional sports. No one's gonna say, because you can take time off. You can literally just take time off. You fake an injury. You don't. But you think about it now. John Jones, Chad Mendez, Brock Lesnar, all these guys getting busted. No one's going, I'm purposely doing this so I get spent for 2 years and my name gets tarnished for life.
I think it's psychological.
I couldn't disagree anymore.
I think human beings behave.
You think the Olympic athletes, everyone gets busted for steroids?
Well,
self-sabotage.
I think in this particular case, like in UFC, when you know USADA is this thorough and you're still doing performance-enhancing drugs, that is such a risk, and you don't know.
No, B, you have people, you have a team going, no, I have a scientist, doctor, whatever.
There's a graveyard, though. In other words,
not really. This is new. This is new. This is all new.
How new is it? Is it that new?
It hasn't been around that long.
Maybe not, but Jesus Christ,
new.
how many people need to fall?
B, I'm telling you, in this case, you're dead wrong. Because Chad Mendez, and especially the guys who have been getting busted, are all contenders. I can understand if you're a guy on the back nine, like, fuck, man, I need to. Even your career's damaged for life.
Doesn't matter. I don't think that's how.
I'm telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you you're wrong.
I don't think I am. I don't think that's how.
So you
people
think
are.
John Jones, Brock Lesnar, Chad Mendez,
Brock Lesnar's
Gilbert
I think
Melendez?
Brock Lesnar's
Think
a
about these
different-
guys.
Brock Lesnar's a different story.
And
But
you, so you
but I
think John Jones like, I'm gonna get busted again for this
I think
stuff?
John Jones has a lot of self-destructive behavior, and that's a classic example of self. Yes,
So you think
yes.
John was like, I'm gonna do this stuff so I don't have to fight for 2 years and not get paid millions of
I think
dollars,
psychologically,
and I'm the greatest fighter on earth?
Psychologically, John Jones has a lot of self-destructive behavior that we've seen. Okay, and I don't think people are in control of not only their motives or their psychology a lot of times, and I think this is very common. I've been around performance. I've seen a lot of people perform, and it's all the same mindset. I've seen people destroy their careers in my business when it was so nuts to do.
But they're doing it with alcohol and drugs.
They're doing
These
a lot of
guys
things.
are
They're
doing
doing
it.
a lot
No,
of things,
it's completely
with
different.
behaviors.
Athletes are doing it with performance enhancing to get an edge on the competition inside the octagon.
I'm very aware of that. What I'm saying is that if you're stupid enough at this point, and I'm sorry, but it's just either you're self-sabotaging or stupid.
more guys getting away with it than getting caught, correct?
I don't know. I'm sure there
I'm
are.
telling
but we
you.
just know that people are getting from. I mean, let's go through the list: Lyoto Machida, Anderson Silva, Brock Lesnar, Gilbert Melendez. It just keeps going. I don't know how many people.
You're talking about the who's who. You're talking about world
That's what I'm
champions,
saying.
and you think they're all self-sabotaging, so they get suspended for 2 years,
I'm saying,
and their career gets tainted for the rest of their life.
No. What I'm saying is that when you see these guys getting caught, right? Because they didn't realize how. So there's a graveyard where people didn't know how thorough USADA was, right? So they think they're going to get away with it. If after all that you're getting caught now, if you don't know now that these guys have sensitive enough equipment to detect this, something's going on. What the fuck are you doing? Are you trusting your doctor?
They think, everyone's trusting their doctor who's saying they can get them out of
then that's
test.
stupid.
But
It's either
it's stupid to think these guys are self-sabotaging. To take 2 years off and ruin their careers.
It's either stupid or
That's
it's
insane.
self-destructive behavior.
It's not self-destructive. What they're doing is a doctor's telling them that they can get them past the test. It's been in sports forever.
Sure.
The science is always ahead of the drug testing. There's more guys doing stuff now. They're still doing stuff. And everyone thinks they're the exception. They're not going to get caught.
Well,
Everyone does.
then-
That's why athletes think.
Right.
That's why they're in the UFC. And that's why most guys aren't. Because they think they're the exception.
Yeah,
they're not doing it because they don't want to fight for 2 years.
Oh, I think there's plenty of that kind of behavior. I think
There's
human
not with
beings
those
are that
guys.
way. What are you talking about? We're talking about human psychology. I don't mean those guys. Those guys are guys. You know, there are a lot of people that do this stuff that in the middle of their career, toward the end of their career, after 2 losses, 3 losses, whatever's psychologically going on,
Who?
people don't want to fight anymore. It's very possible
Who,
that Chad
though?
Mendez.
Who?
It's very possible psychologically Chad Mendez
number
has
3
a
in the
large
world.
so what?
And loves fighting. It's all he has.
First of all, you don't know that he loves fighting. There are plenty of athletes.
Yes, I do. I know Chad Mendez.
Andre Agassi, in the height of his career, hated tennis. Hated it. There are a lot of
He's
people.
the exception.
No, but
Chad loves fighting
there
and
are
hunting.
a lot of people who are athletes at the top of their game.
You're way off on
Who
this,
hate doing it.
So they're going to take steroids to get suspended for 2 years
They'll
to
do all
self-sabotage.
kinds of things to sabatage themselves, like do blow and run into a car and hurt a pregnant woman. And then
That's
run
completely
away.
different.
I mean, there are so many examples. It's not different. It's not different at all. It's all behavior that lends itself to you getting.
But when you're in a
excluded from
training
the sport.
camp, when you're in a training camp and you have a doctor telling you they can pass the test to give you an edge over the number 1 guy in the world, you're not thinking, if I do get caught, at least I'll get 2 years off.
Oh, well,
because I'm self-sabotaging.
I would be.
That's why you've never been a professional athlete.
Oh, it's the same thing, dude.
It's not, brother.
Being a
It's
performer,
not.
Being a performer is
No, one's performance enhancing, hence PEDs.
I understand.
One is alcohol, drugs,
I understand.
self-sabotage.
I understand. What I'm saying is that if you don't know by now that your doctor and all these other doctors are, not a guarantee, then something's going on.
Well, the juice is worth the squeeze.
Either it was a
the juice
stupid
is worth the
decision-
squeeze.
Well, it was either
Rock
a
made
stupid
$12 million
decision-
test positive. Tell him how stupid it is.
If you told me that if I love fighting that much and I'm taking a risk where I could get suspended for 2 years, if I love fighting that much, there's no way I'm going to take that risk. And maybe you're saying I'm not an athlete, so I don't know the mindset.
I'm
which is fair,
telling you, you don't know
which is fair.
these
But I
fighters.
do know
These fighters who got to the UFC by
psychology.
taking risk and by doing anything possible to get an advantage. And when a doctor says, I can get you to pass this test, I've proven it. I've worked with this guy in the MLB. I've worked with this guy in the NFL. I can pass the test. And you're a young 24, 26, 27, 28 years old and you have money in the bank. You're like, fuck, I win this fight, man. I get a title shot next. I get millions of dollars. Fuck yeah, it's worth the risk.
That's part of
it's
it.
not self-sabotage.
Not with Chad, I guess. I don't know Chad.
Not with any of those guys. It's performance enhancing. Anything you can do. If guys are so fragile, if someone said, "Hey, bro, if you eat," GSP's doing it. Lance Armstrong did. If you eat this bag of gummy bears before the fight, you're gonna perform 1% better. Everyone's eating gummy bears.
Yeah.
It's not self-sabotage. You just want an advantage at any way possible.
Well,
that's why it's called performance enhancing.
Whatever USADA's doing, man. Jesus Christ. You're not getting away with it. I don't care what your doctor says.
Guys are still getting away with it. I promise you, there's guys getting away with it. There's just certain guys don't have those doctors or the money for it.
Right.
The scientists are always ahead of these tests. There's already guys who've beat it. I guarantee it. It's just the way professional
the science
sports
is
work.
always going to beat,
Always.
There's always going to be ways to get around it with money involved and stuff like that when there's that much of a desire. And it seems to me that
because the rule is it's like the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Athletes and scientists are the Roadrunner. USADA's Wile E. Coyote, always trying to catch up.
Right.
So
so you take a risk.
Yeah, it's professional sports. You don't get there by playing it safe.
Yeah.
No one. You're talking about 1% of the world.
Right.
They're gonna take what?
And it's true. It's it's like Chael was saying. I'm fighting with this guy, and he's not getting tired after round 4 in practice. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I got to do this stuff if I'm going to stay up with these guys. It's really interesting to see what they're going to have in 5 years. The kind of shit that they're going to be able to do.
Same shit. The scientists are they're already doing shit
Coming
now.
up with more.
That's how it goes, man. Some guys, that's their job.
2 fucking years. Do you think that's too excessive?
No. How can you get to stop? But I mean, Chad Mendes.
Well, you said because
Chad Mendes will come back and still be on the main card. Like, look at Gilbert Melendez. Tested positive for a steroid, right? Performance enhancing drug. He's on a huge card in Chicago.
Right. So
Alistair Overeem's been busted how many times? He's fighting for the world title.
Yeah.
So the message, all right, I'll miss 2 years. When I come back, it's all gravy, baby.
Or a year, like you said. Like a year is not a big deal for a lot of guys because
you fight once a year anyways. You do appearances. It's kind of like
you're getting
people assume you're on it. People assume you're on it anyways.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I mean, I see. I don't think ban the guy for life. I don't think you can ban him for life. Mm-mm. I wish I had the answers. I don't. Yeah. But you just. I don't know what you can do. It's always going to be, and I hate to tell you, if you're a soccer fan, NBA fan, MLB fan, NFL fan,
they're all doing something.
WWE, every single person
is doing what they can to get an advantage.
Every single person.
Yeah.
Hate to tell you.
Yeah, and it's only going to get more advanced. It's not like
nothing's going to change.
It's not going to stop. What you're going to do is you're going to have scientists who are more incentivized. It's going to just accelerate the pace of science to come up with things that are undetectable. And
they're already doing it.
And so it goes.
They're already doing it.
Yeah. It's a little bit like trying to stop the drug trade.
There's no bad.
There's that much money involved.
Part of professional sports. Yeah.
All right.
What else you got, Ev?
That's fair.
This is actually a good segue into our next current event. Mark Hunt has come out and said that he wants to be the guy who starts the first fighters union, the first fighters association. The Brock situation has obviously really, really, really lit a fire under his ass. He wants to be the guy that heads up that whole operation. So he's telling fighters in the UFC, like, I'm sick of this bullshit of us lining the UFC's pockets with our blood, was the line that he said. If you want to be a part of this, DM me. I won't release any of your information until like we have our whole crew assembled, basically, like our starting lineup of guys that are going to get on board with this. Just if you want to get in on this, shoot Mark on an email, I guess.
Now might be the time to do it.
Now's the time with the transition of seniority and the transition of
corporate. Now you're dealing with
now you're corporate. He has some great points when he says, they did a great job, but the fighters, they have no benefits. He's been fighting forever, and no money, stuff like that. So it's now's the time to make any sort of change. And he has some good point. He goes, and I think he said Australia, right? Australia and New Zealand, where the fuck he's at. Mm-hmm. He goes, we all stick together. If you have a problem with Mark Hunt, or you have a problem with Kyle Noak, you have a problem with all of us as professional fighter. And he goes, America's not that way, which is true. We're very selfish. I'm going to get mine. Sure. I'm getting paid. I'm going to get mine. So he has a good point, and he is a legend, but he's also older. He's on the back nine. Yeah. You need a guy, and it's great he's speaking out. I'm all for it. I'll support him however I can. but you would need a guy like Connor to do it. You need someone with
real power
some
and
real
draw.
power who goes, I'm not doing shit till you guys figure this out. Because if looking at other sports, talking about 50, 43, 57 split, blah, blah, and we're 93-7, and you just sold for $4 billion, fuck you, man. So you need everyone collectively. I don't give a fuck if Dana's your best friend, you jack him off at night while he hands you $100 bills. You have to take all that aside and fucking jump on board.
Why are you doing that? So he's jerking off and Dana's
Yeah,
like,
baby. No, I'll give you the matchup. I'll give you the
There's not
matchup.
100.
When you
There's
come
not
back,
100.
I'll give you the matchup. Here's a hundo. What else you need?
Get another
Here's a hundo. You want to be main event? Who do you want to fight? Oh, we'll see. Talk to Fertitas.
I forgot my towel, sir.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a beast, and you get some smart lawyers who know what's going on. And
Yeah.
Mark has the right idea. He has some very, very good points too. If you read that interview, it's tough, man. But now's the time. Now's the time for someone to jump in and do it. It's good, Mark, speaking out, but you need everyone to come together. You'd need as collectively to come together as fighters and say no one's performing. This circus, no elephant, there's no clowns. We all have to get paid more, or that you have no league. And then good luck going, well, the league's what people watch. Cool. If every fighter in the UFC said, fuck you, we're not doing it, what are they going to do? What could they do? All right, we'll sign these young guys. Cool. Put them on TV. Let me know how the ratings go. But if all the stars did it, it's just tough because some stars are taken care of. Some stars are in with Dana. Some guys are here. It's like where you even start with that whole movement, I have no idea. But whatever Mark needs, I got his back.
Yeah, Dillashaw came out this week and was speaking to a lot of the same sentiments that Mark.
Why? Because Sage Northcutt makes more than TJ Dillashaw?
Yeah, right.
How crazy is that? Damn. And why did that happen? Because Dana was like, oh, I like this kid. He's shredded. Let's build him up. I found him on my YouTube show. But I'm TJ Dillashaw. I'm a former world champ.
I'm a work of art.
I know. This guy's shredded with spiky hair. Looks like Zach Morris.
Yeah, but I'm a work of art. Did you see my last fight?
But wait, man, I'm number one in the world. Here, take this, though, and shut the fuck up. Hey, man, you can't run it like that. And that's basically what Mark Hunt says. He goes, how crazy is it that they give Brock Lesnar an exemption? They pull John Jones from the card. And then they tell Conor McGregor he can't fight on this card because he didn't do the press conference. And he goes, and me and Brock Lesnar didn't do the press conference. Yeah. He goes, and so
no consistency.
Well, you're running it like it's like you and me running it. Yeah. I don't like that guy. You're out of here. Yeah. What the fuck?
That's how kings do it. Kill him.
Okay, kill
his
him.
Handshake. His hands are clammy.
Ooh, pay him. He's shredded with spiky hair. Looks like Zach Morris. The fuck? The hell is that?
He is a good-looking kid.
Yeah, but you can't. Doesn't mean you can pay him more than all these other talented fighters.
Abs, dude. That's got to be worth
He's shredded up. Apparently.
Yeah, it's got to be worth something.
I like WWE. Sign CM Punk now. He can't fight. We'll figure it out. Sign him. Sign him.
Sign him. Sign him. But, sir, if you could he hasn't had any training. He's still a white belt.
I don't care. We'll figure it out. We will hype him with this UFC machine.
Sir, hype is not going to save you in the octagon, sir. I beg you. I implore you. Keep him in the...
Then we will pay the opponent to take a fall.
No, that's terrible.
What else you got, Eb?
All right, next story we got comes to us from New York, where a 81-year-old owner of an animal safari park was killed this week by an antelope from the park that trampled him.
Death by hoof.
Was it just one?
Yes.
Or was it a herd? I can understand getting caught in a herd.
I can understand getting in the way of a herd.
I haven't heard this, but right away, if it's a herd, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, that'd be scary. Yeah. Just a shitload of antelope, just do.
I read the
He was unexpectedly trampled by a no-guy antelope that somehow got out of its pen. Sounds like it was one. I don't know how you get trampled by one antelope, but...
The antelope went, human, stomp on his face. How do you not fight back, though?
I punch him in his antelope face.
How old was the guy?
He was 81, man.
Hey, do me a favor. I want you to Google how big those antelopes are, and then I want to come up with a way to beat the shit out of this antelope. Here's the thing.
Do they have like horns?
But also, I never think of antelopes are pretty peaceful. They eat grass and they run away from you. And I guess in this case, the thing was like, you know what? You're 81. I think I can take you. and he just came at him.
What was the guy not paying attention? And antelope was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting out of here," and then was like, "Oh shit, look at that dude, gadoosh," and just like jumped on his back.
I guess those hooves are super sharp, so you got stabbed.
Not real. They're not that sharp. They're flat as fuck.
These antelopes are pretty fucking big.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
How big is it?
Let me see this little animal.
might
They're
be
the
horse
largest Asian antelope.
Well,
period. And they stand about between 3 and 5 feet tall and weigh between 240 and 630 pounds.
Well, that's a
really big range.
Yeah, and
let's
by
just
the
call
way,
it somewhere-
Hey, USADA, fucking test those antelope.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5
things look
feet.
yoked.
5 feet, 600 pounds. That makes Mark Hunt look like a complete pussy. That's a wide. Let me see that.
I still don't think he can kill me.
Don't.
If I'm 80, probably. I'm not getting out of the
I don't
way.
think he's gonna kill a Brennan Schaub, who's a UFC fighter, but the thing will. It probably barreled him over and just jumped up. And
He
down
probably
on him.
Didn't see it and thinks,
Poor guy. That's
"Hey,
a
bro,
scary looking
don't
animal.
show us the fucking Brock Lesnar antelope."
That thing looks very muscular.
Okay, well, that thing's fucking enormous.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what? That thing
enormous.
would
It
take
looks
me
like
out.
it looks
that
like
thing would fuck me
It looks
up.
like an aggressive unicorn. And
No. It looks like a fucking.
It looks like a miniature water buffalo.
No, it looks like a bull just with tiny little horns.
Yeah, they'll fuck you up. That thing
Yeah,
will mess
okay,
you
I'm
up.
terrified now.
It's all neck and back.
See, I thought it. I'm thinking of a gazelle.
I'm thinking of a gazelle too.
Fuck a gazelle.
I know.
I'd punch the fuck out of a gazelle.
I'll leg kick him. I'll front kick his legs.
I'd grab a stupid horn and go, "What? Not up in here." Boom, eat dirt.
Well, I would kick his. He's got those two little front legs, and I go, get there. I'd Muay Thai.
There couldn't be an animal I'm less scared of. When I go to the zoo, I avoid the gazelle exhibit. Fuck you. Unless it can kill me, I avoid all of that zoo shit.
Yeah.
I check out the pandas.
I'm right with
check
you.
out the
I'm
lions.
so with you.
I love me a nice, silky smooth hippo. I'll look at an elephant because
I'm
I
right
like
with
to
you.
see them
Anything
put on
that
the
can
show.
kill me, I look at.
The panthers.
Yep.
I don't like the tanks. When they're in the tanks, I don't like. It's kind of weird. I love me a gorilla, a monkey,
All
the
about it.
baboons.
I go right there.
Fuck a bird.
Yep.
Don't even
Unless
show
it's
me
a
the
giant
birds.
golden eagle.
If you have a golden eagle, I'll check it out. You got a vulture? I'm gonna go ahead and skim by it with my cotton candy.
Right with you.
Any lizards?
Yeah.
You put a fucking gecko or a noli or
I'm
iguana
bored.
in my
I'm bored.
face, I'm gonna
bored.
piss on your
I'm
zoo.
bored. And it's
I
funny.
need a Komodo dragon. I'm on
Yep,
board.
Yep. Komodo.
Crocodile? Yes, please.
Yep. Yes, please. But any antelope in the world, including maybe now that one, I'm gonna have to take him in. I'm gonna have to stop and take him in to see.
I need
how
you to
fare.
market better. Check out this fucking Japanese antelope
It's a
roided
man
to
killer.
the gills.
Man killer.
What's his name? Brock.
Right.
I'll check out Brock the antelope.
Yep.
He's jacked to the
Yep.
gills.
I feel bad for his family, by the way, so we're not making fun of anything. But having said that,
He's 80 though. He's 80. Yeah.
and he took care of animals his whole life. He's a good man.
I know.
And God bless. But here's the thing about the
Hashtag
antelope.
crocodile hunter.
It's so interesting that you're right. I will skip right by any kind of antelope. And by the way, not even looking at the flamingos. Oh, they're pink. I just keep walking.
You know why they're
I
pink?
want something with
You know why they're
fangs
pink?
and claws.
You know why they're pink?
Why?
Because they eat so much shrimp.
I didn't know that.
That's why they're pink.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Really?
I'm that guy at the zoo that drops facts on you
Is
mysteriously.
that right, dude?
Yeah, you like that hippo? You know they kill more humans than any other animal. See ya. I disappear. You like that flamingo? You know it's pink. The shrimp. Take off.
That's what I do with the
That antelope
primatologist.
is jacked to the gills.
I was in.
That antelope's jacked. There was last time I was at the zoo. There's a lion pissing on people, just pissing on people.
Was it a tiger or a lion? Because lions
no,
piss out of their
lion,
butts.
lion out of his booty.
That's usually a tiger.
No, this was a lion.
Oh, okay.
Bitch, it was a lion.
He's probably
I know.
marking its territory and pissing.
They say he does it. He's
Lifted his
upset. Yeah.
tail?
This one lady
Female
just
though. Female or was it a male?
No, it was a male. He say males do it.
Really?
Yeah, it was a male pissing out the back.
That would be a female.
You know what? Give it up. You're right. So it was pointing up.
Because male lions'
Yeah.
dicks don't point straight
Well,
back.
it's big. Well, he bulldogged his
can't
nuts.
bulldog- you
no,
can
he
bulldog your nut,
bulldog.
not your
No, he
dick.
bulldogged the trunk like a tusk and
I
then
bulldog
stuck it
my
out the-
dick, too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Can't pee like that though.
No, you
you ever
can't
try
do
peeing
that.
like that?
It's very hard.
You just can't. Anyways,
Yeah.
so it was a female piss on people. This one lady, she must be into some weird shit. She just took that shit like a golden shower to the face. Yeah. And I went, oh shit. I even ran from my girl. I was like, no, you don't smell like cat piss.
And
There's nothing worse
she
than
screamed, "Golden shower! Golden shower!"
this Asian lady. Just, I'm not even trying to make fun of Asian people here. Just, I was like, all right, well, that's hot lion
Maybe it has
piss.
medicinal value.
The whole family didn't, no fucks given. Yeah, bring it on, lion. I'll see ya. Had my funnel cake. You piss on this funnel cake, I'm gonna jump in there and whip your shitty lion ass.
And
Probably
that
not.
lion probably wouldn't do much like that guy who had that lion in full guard, and the lion was kind of walking around with him. It's weird.
Well, that guy's critical condition. They just throw.
Oh, he
But
is in
yeah,
critical condition?
Yeah, no, he can't jump in any lion exhibit and get away with it.
Sorry about that guy. What a weird.
Anyways, those there's a chapter.
There's a chapter.
Zoo.
It's great.
How to conduct yourself at the zoo.
I like that.
Yeah, if you can't kill me, get the fuck out of here. I never forget last time I was in Denver, I went to the zoo. This was years ago. I brought a date there. We walk in. There's it's usually schools go to zoo. There's all these elementary kids. There's this fucking rhino with his you ever seen a rhino dick?
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, it's
No, they got
about like that.
Their dicks are
It's
impossible.
as long as the cord.
It's an impossible dick. When
And
somebody has a huge dick, I go, "That your dick is impossible." I said
Well,
that to
it
horses
looks
and
like
rhinos.
it looks like a crane. Like there was segments to it.
Yeah.
It was like a caterpillar segment.
Yep.
It was like one long arm, elbow joint, long arm, elbow joint, long arm,
Yep. And
head.
it can eat ants.
Head.
Yep.
Yeah. So I get there and I'm like, I fucking love rhinos. Those that kill you. I'll check out a rhino.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
black rhinos.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid goes, "What are they doing?" And I look, it's a shitload of kids. And the teacher goes, "Oh my God." She starts laughing and closes. She's like, "Come on, a gorilla's up here." And this ill rhino is just going to town on Mrs. Rhino.
Really?
Just straight up X-rated.
Really?
I watched the entire thing.
Getting
Everyone else was all embarrassed. Like, I'm for sure going to watch all of this.
Rhino cunt.
For sure. I'm going to get my phone out, World Star, YouPorn.
Rhino cunt.
Yeah, this rhino, black rhino's getting after it.
Rhino.
Just dry too.
dry.
Dry old ashy dick.
Well, she might have been like, "Ooh, he's got
Ashy
he's got that crane
dick.
dong."
Well, they all do though. They have to reach, right?
My father said to me, "I can't listen to this podcast you do. You guys don't talk." As we're talking,
Your dad's
about
80.
Rhino dick.
Your dad's 80. He's
76.
balls deep into politics.
I know.
This ain't for you.
It ain't for you.
Hey, Papa Count, ain't for you.
It ain't for you. He said,
You
"You
hey,
to talk about."
unsubscribe.
Because I tried to listen.
Do me a
to that.
favor, unsubscribe, Papa Count. My dad doesn't listen either.
No.
It's not for you guys.
No.
Back to Rhino dick.
for us. Back
What
to
else you
Rhino-
got, Ev?
Back to Rhino
What's a
dick.
18 to 36 demographic?
Yeah.
70-year-olds should be pissed or we're not doing our job.
I'll be into. I have news for you. When I'm 76, I'm going to be into this kind of conversation. Knowing me, go on.
We'll see.
Last one we got is about Leslie Jones, who is
I
catching.
love Leslie. I know.
Oh my
Leslie.
God,
This
is
is
that
going to
girl?
bum me out.
Oh no.
Oh my
no.
God, is that girl catching some shit on Twitter? So she, as you guys know, she's one of the stars of the new all-female cast of the Ghostbusters
Great
movie.
stand-up comic. Yep.
And since the movie's, in a lot of people's opinion, not very good, she's been like for whatever reason, well, probably because she's black and easy target. People on Twitter have just been going just fucking crazy on her.
Super
just
racist
tweeting
tweets.
horrible
Pictures of a
horrible
gorilla.
shit
It's
at
like,
this
God
woman.
damn it.
so she brought it to
started
attention.
retweet. Yeah, she started retweeting some of these just to, instead of deleting them and blocking the users like she was before. She's just started basically like retweeting them and leaving them on her timeline so people could actually see for themselves how bad it was.
Wow.
Leslie,
I know
it's gotten
Leslie.
completely out of
I know
hand.
Leslie a long time, and Leslie is like one of the good guys. She's such a great person. She's such a great comic. She was always so nice to everybody. She was always so happy for everybody's success. And to see Leslie get on SNL like this and star in a movie like this, like you don't. This is somebody who worked her ass off to get to where she had. She had no help. She had this was somebody who did all of this on her own. And I would see her every time I was at the Comedy Store, and no one that you know has anything bad to say about Leslie Jones. She is, like, it
No,
it
yeah,
makes
we
me
know
so
she's great.
happy
B.
that
No,
she-
no, we know she's
I'm
great.
just saying-
so
I'm
the
just
issue
saying,
is,
it just
she's
sucks.
the yeah.
It
Well,
just
think about it,
sucks,
bro.
man. It
So she
sucks.
comes out with her first big movie. She's getting so
just
many
sucks.
racist tweets.
There you go.
And backlash. She had to go. I'm crying myself to sleep tonight. I can't believe how horrible this world is. Thanks for nothing.
Wow.
It
Shame on you, fuck faces.
She kind of fucked up acknowledging it though, because then all the
Maybe
racists
not.
go, "Oh shit, she's retweeting
but maybe
us."
not, because it does bring to our attention that there is racism
brings
is
attention-
alive and well.
And it took her retweeting for you to know that.
I think it's important to get it out there. We're talking about it. I think it's
We're
important.
talking about it, and you know what it's doing? It created more. It all it does, in this way social media works. You're not on it too much. So if you retweet a troll, then the rest of the troll signals go bling bling, and then 20.
Yeah.
You retweet that, you got 40.
I also understand doing it and saying, "Look at how fucking shitty this world is, and look at these people." And and maybe when you retweet it, those people get shamed a little bit too. I don't know.
Well, if you're racist and she retweets you, you're probably pretty stoked.
Fuck.
Because she has, I don't know, 700,000 followers, however many
Anyway,
followers
she's
she has.
awesome, man. And
That sucks,
I'm
man.
Sorry to hear that.
That's a fucking bummer.
That bums me the fuck out.
I don't know what you can do though. I know
Here's the move. Hire a PI and have them just like their new job is going through your timeline, getting tweets, finding their employers, and sending them to them.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad
Boom.
idea at all.
Consequences.
It's
Real
not a
life
bad
shit.
idea at all.
It's not a bad idea at all.
I know Twitter's getting rid of. They're banning a lot of people. Like just you're banned for life off Twitter.
Really?
Yeah,
if
Milo.
you're saying,
yeah, and Paulus
wasn't he
or
on
some shit,
Rogan's
he's-
podcast?
He was.
So if you're like saying hurtful things or racist things, they ban you for life from Twitter.
That's a little controversial, right? But it is a private company, so I can understand them saying, you know,
I would 100% do it. We ban people all the time from our Instagram. If you're a shithead or if you're a hater, there's no reason why you should be on our page. We ban
Right.
you. Twitter has every right to do that.
Yeah,
if you're
it's their company.
There's, I
they
think,
have standards, you know.
well, yeah, but hurting someone's feelings, I don't give a fuck what the product is. That's you can say freedom of speech,
Yeah, and
but you can't say
and you know
racist
the
stuff.
difference. You know the difference. If you're saying really bad racist shit, you know the difference.
What can you do?
Let's take a break because Daddy's got a pee-pee.
Yeah, Daddy has to pee out of his giant rhino dick too.
Guys, here's something that I thought was very interesting. I came across this about a week ago in the New York Times. I've been wanting to talk about it. There's a medical mystery. Gina Galata is a writer for the Upshot, but she was talking to these medical historians. Some of them are out of Harvard, etc. The leading causes of death for human beings in developed countries, at least, is starting
Can I
to
guess?
fall, and they can't figure out why it is. Yes, go ahead.
The leading
first
cause of
what are
human
what are
death?
you know what some of the leading causes of death are?
Automobile accidents,
No,
number one.
No, I'm talking about diseases.
Oh, disease, cancer,
Colon cancer,
number one.
colon cancer, dementia, heart disease, and even hip fractures.
Ooh.
So what the hell's going on? Now, you could say screening and drugs.
Wait, you're saying it's going down?
Well, it's going down.
Those things are going down?
Well, colon cancer deaths have fallen since the 80s by 50%.
Because of technology, science?
Well, there's another answer, but you screen for it and you can stop these things in their tracks, but that doesn't explain such major drops in the death rates. How do you explain that hip fractures have been dropping by 15 to 20% a decade over the past 30 years? Now, part of
Hip's
it's
hard to fracture.
and part of it's because they say people are getting fatter so that their bones get stronger. That only explains a little. They have bone loss medication, but not enough people take it to explain these insane drops. And the same thing goes for dementia. Many strokes result, vascular disease can cause dementia, but dementia is falling at astronomical levels as well. And they didn't believe that until they took a look at the macro data, and enough scientists got together and say, there's no question that dementia, even dementia, not just hip fractures. Can you guess why? Colon cancer, heart disease has been falling. I mean, heart disease has been falling since the 50s in a crazy way. Partially that's diet and stuff like that.
You want me to guess?
Yeah,
The body's adapting to the environment.
that's exactly right. They think our cells,
Hey, man, I've been reading like a motherfucker.
as we get older,
It's like I'm Doogie Howser.
you're not playing around.
I'm
You're
Doogie Howser.
You're like a doctor.
I listen to books
They think as we're
nonstop.
getting older, as people are living longer, their bodies are adapting to a disease called old age. They're like kind of going, well, we're not going to die yet because, we're living till we're 100.
Yeah, we're living longer, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Some crazy number of centenarians. Like it used to be like, I can't remember what it was, but it was something crazy. It was like 15,000 people lived to 100, and then then it was 35,000 people, and it was
yeah, I saw some crazy stats that the first person lived to 150 was born last year.
Yes, that's the other thing because with tissue regeneration, with
Damn, son, I'm
cloned
trying to
body
live to
parts.
I'm trying to live to 150.
Dude, you know why I like
I'm
that?
on the back nine.
Because at 49, it means I would
You have 100 years,
more
bro.
years to get good at the piano, get good at
no.
get good at.
But would you want
tennis.
those last 50 years just old rickety like homeboy got ran over by the antelope?
No, probably not. What would you do? I guess I'd teach.
The fuck are you going to teach?
I don't know. I'd teach, or I would
Oh, yeah, that's thrilling.
I'd raise chickens and meditate and do kung fu on a mountaintop.
You
and
just
play
keep
the
doing
flute.
what you're doing.
Keep
But
doing
if
what I'm
but the only way you'd want to live to 150 or 200 years old is if your body was still capable of enjoying planet
right.
Earth.
That's right.
Because if I'm 150 or 200, I look like the fucking creep or the Tales from the Crypt guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I have to pay every Joe Schmo to touch me. Then fuck, man, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And is my brain shit? Do I not remember everyone? I'm shitting my pants. And
Yeah.
I pay these whores every Sunday to suck my dick.
Well, why is it Sunday and why are they whores?
Sunday's my day off.
Oh.
I'm working Monday through
So
Saturday.
when you're 100,
I'm
When
grinding.
you're 120, you only take Sundays off. You're always working.
Only same schedule I got now. Only
Damn,
Sundays,
you got a lot of
son.
money in the bank at this point. What
Yeah.
are you going to do with all that money?
Whores.
Whores. Whore is expensive.
I don't know what the whores.
whores.
The whores got bills, son.
Whore-
I'm
there's-
old as fuck. I don't have anyone to look after me.
Mahor fund, obviously.
whore fund.
Horse that'll bang out a 120-year-old man are
Got
gonna be
it.
a little pricey.
They're pricey.
Gotta pay whores to bypass my gray anal hair.
You talking about that whore fund?
Uh-huh.
You talking about that whore fund?
I'm sorry.
The whore fund? People have 401ks. I got that whore fund.
That's right. Sorry about all that gray pube.
Those aren't going to be growing
I'm
either.
disgusted.
Yeah, you took that
That's
to a
my drop
sick
in
level.
now. Let's get to fan questions. But before
Before we
do-
drop in,
Yeah.
when I am 150,
yeah,
I'm still going to be worried about security.
gotta worry about.
You know, guys
I just
that-
want to know that I can see. I just want to see somebody at my door. I want to be able to see that somebody's at my door wherever I am in the world.
Well,
I know that sounds crazy. That's impossible. That's sci-fi
You
stuff.
probably just watched that movie, The Purge, and you're
Yeah.
thinking that high-tech security system's really out there.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
What?
Yeah, I'm talking about a company called Ring.
Ring.com?
Ring.com.
Oh, is that where I can actually see somebody on my
From your
smartphone?
mobile device.
What?
Yeah, man. You can watch them drop off packages, who comes to the
Yeah, but
door,
I can't
anything.
talk to 'em.
Yeah, you can.
What? You
It's
can't.
easy to set up, too, man.
I know.
Super easy, step by step.
Well, your brother has one set up.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah.
We'll be in whatever city we're in. He's like, look at his wife. Look at Ianthe. Look at her. Go check the mail. Then I'll text her, I see you checking the mail. Kind of creepy. But you can also check anything. Whoever's at your door, babysitters,
I love
UPS, USSPS, man. Whatever you want.
Ring.com, ladies and gentlemen. Give him something. Give him something, man. Come on.
What do you want, man? I
don't know.
mean, how much would you be willing to pay for something like this? Again, it's security for your home.
Well, I mean, that for me, security, I'd pay.
It's a weather.
90,
Hold on, let me finish. It's wireless. It's weatherproof HD camera. So whether you're in snow,
HD camera and it's weatherproof?
HD. It's gonna look like this bullshit
so-
Atari game.
So I would say they're probably going to give it away for $100,000.
You know, you'd be right.
Yeah. I
You'd
thought
be
so.
right, man.
About $100,000.
For a limited time, the Fire and the Kid Army gets $50 off the Ring
Oh, so it's
of Security Kit.
900. I mean, it's 90,000.
Again, that'd be fair. It's nowhere near there. It's the lowest price anywhere. Go to ring.com/fighter right now. Join hundreds of thousands of people who said, you know what? I'm trying to protect my home. Go to ring.com/fighter for $50 off. That's ring.com/fighter. Good luck, robbers.
Fan questions. Fan questions.
All right.
Good luck, robbers.
First fan question. Brian,
Yeah.
you're an avid reader.
Yeah.
With your busy schedule, do you specifically carve out time to read each day?
Nope.
And do you practice speed reading?
Nope, I don't do either one. I just, first of all, I go to Audible. I use audible.com.
I've been on it, dude.
Yeah. I listen to books on tape, and I always have. And then when I'm on a plane, I read, I'll read something. But, yeah.
I'm doing the same thing, and it's crazy because with Auto, this isn't a sponsor. They've been sponsors before, but I used the code probably 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I better check this Auto out. I've never used it before, and that's how Steve Martin's book. Now I'm reading this other book, but whenever I'm in my car, I just put it on. You just fly through chapters. Like I finished a book in 3 days.
How different is your life now that you read? I mean, in a way, your understanding, your perspective.
I just think you're wasting less time because when I was reading a thing, it's like. Granted, I hate these things like 10 successful things, 10 things successful people do. Oh, I usually fucking hate that gimmick shit. But one of the main things, and I think it was in Forbes, is instead of listening to music, they listen to podcasts or audio books. And I was like, well, I listen to podcasts. And I bought a book, Ego is the Enemy, and I read it, but I was carving time out of my day. And it got in the day, it's tough when we're fighting the kid and my other stuff going on, workouts, blah, blah, blah. Then at night, it's tough because I have the baby. I spend time with the baby. So I'm like, dude, instead of cutting out an hour or two to read this book, I should be with my baby, even though he might be sleeping, but I should be spending time, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, audiobooks while I'm driving. In the morning, if I'm getting ready, I'm just listening to books, but you're flying through chapters.
Right.
So it's fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
There you go.
There you go. Next one. Brendan, how can you tell the difference between someone who's a genetic freak and someone who's just blessed with amazing genes? Case in point, Sage Northcutt, who's been tested nonstop since his debut and has basically had a six-pack since he was 7 years old.
It's a legit point. Look at the picture of that kid as a young lad. He was jacked. And, my Tebow's jacked. My friend Joe Kloffenstein's jacked. I was around a lot of guys.
Klopp is the biggest freak. I mean, Klopp, to me, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing, there's a lot of guys like that. So I think there's really, like when Chael said he can tell right away, I disagree with that. I don't think he can. I think the way you can tell is if there's the UFC is the easiest. NFL, we don't know because you don't see him with the shirts off. The UFC is easiest because let's say a guy fights in January and you're getting a picture with him flexing with his shirt off. Then he fights in December. If there's a significant difference and he's 38 years old, there's your eye test.
Yeah.
It ain't his diet, homeboy.
Yeah.
It ain't his diet. It ain't his workout regimen. It's supplements.
I.e. Alistair Overeem when he fought.
Yeah, that's usually. But to not know a person and to see them and because they're big or shredded, to assume they're on steroids. Most of the time, I find that it's people who A, weren't successful as athletes, B, just don't know the business at all, and C, are haters. Like, steroids. No, because when you're in the chess club, he was probably in the workout. Like he earned that body. You can't just chalk it up to PEDs. It gets thrown out there way too much these days.
But it's also used a lot these days, so.
Yeah,
you can take an educated guess.
Well, but you really can't because they're not educated. You're going.
No, but
you're going based off.
You just said yourself in the beginning of this podcast that I hate to tell you everybody, but everybody is probably doing PEDs. I know what you're
it's
saying.
prevalent in the
sport.
sport.
You're just saying.
I'm saying
just because somebody's a genetic. There are genetic freaks out there.
There's tons of them,
Yeah,
but usually if it's a professional athlete, what I'm saying is a lot of times you can't just assume that guy's on PEDs because he looks like that. The reason why that guy makes $70 million a year to throw a round ball through a net is because he's better than anyone in the world at doing that. It has nothing to do with the PEDs.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, next question. This comes to us from Simon Lopez.
And real quick, the other thing, Brock Lesnar, even without PEDs, is a complete fucking freak. Those PEDs, it might make him lean or something. Brock, with or without PEDs,
killer.
Shane Carwin, anyone, they're fucking monsters. They just, PEDs helps them perform, but physically, those guys are just monsters. Like, I get the question all the time on Twitter. I see them. They go, you're so out. It's not even that I make fun of Brock. I think yesterday's tweet when he got test positive, because I took so much shit on the Rogan's podcast when I said, yeah, Brock's obviously on shit. They know it. He's going to test positive. Even Rogan's like, that's not true. I know what win the deal. I'm like, no, it's the biggest, it's the shadiest deal in UFC history. What are you talking about? So when he tested positive, what I said, if this surprises any of you, you shouldn't be allowed to vote or have children. It's just a funny tweet. Blah, blah. So I get a lot of hate, blah, blah, blah. Then people go, well, what about your boy Shane Carwin? Here's my answer to that. Shane Carwin played college football, professional football, fought in the UFC for, heavyweight champ, blah, blah, blah. He was tested every fight because of the way he looked. Difference between Brock and Shane and any of these other guys who tested positive for PEDs, and Shane was tested every single fight. He passed every single test. I never saw him do anything. He never referenced anything. I've never. So if you want to judge a book by its cover and say, well, he's huge. He was born fucking thick as shit.
You look at his hands. That's not steroids. His hands are.
But the thing is, let's say, well, he's jacked. I get that, man. Yeah, I can see how you can assume. You look at him, you look at Brock. He's all, and this is the difference between him and Brock. He's passed every single test he's ever been in. Every single test. So
did he not get popped for steroids?
Never.
Huh. Wow.
Fuck no. Shane?
Just a freak.
He's just a big dude. So people are like, you're so outspoken against Lesnar. What, your boy Shane Carwin? Again, he's passed every single test, and he's had so many tests. He's passed in football, passed in college wrestling, passed it professionally. UFC tests him every fight because he looks like a freak. Again, he passed every single test. What else you got, Ev?
All right. This one comes from Simon Lopez, and he's telling us that he just got into a big argument with his coworkers about this question. He argued that the NBA has the best athletes. And by athletes, he's defining that as a collective of physical attributes and disregarding mental aspects of athletics. So we're talking like fast twitch muscle fiber, reaction time, speed, strength to size ratio, that kind of shit. Would you agree that the NBA has the best athleticism talent as a sport?
As a mean, on average.
Yeah. Do they have the best athletes as defined by those traits?
Most people do. I think most experts. I know Lauren Landau says NBA are the best athletes too. Because think about it, LeBron James 6'8", quick as fuck,
270?
great footwork, 270. You look at a guy like Kevin Durant, he's fucking 6'10". I mean, and they're fluid, they move well, they're quick.
Well,
So
Russell Westbrook. I mean, there's some.
yeah, I mean, well, he's smaller, but the point is because these guys
How tall
are
is he?
they're-
6'4"? Russell Westbrook.
might be 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'3".
small?
I think he's 6'3". Check. He's not small, but I'm saying think about to be that tall like a LeBron James. That's
And
my
be able
point
to
here.
move that fast.
6'3". There you go. So that's not freakishly tall. So take him out of it. That's a bad example. But LeBron, Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Dwight Howard, like these guys are huge and are quick,
fast.
nimble. They're fucking they can do everything.
Yeah.
So
More so than like an NFL wide receiver, because they have that combination of height, quickness, but they're probably on
have a harder job.
Strength wise, they're probably much stronger. I mean,
Way
Kevin
stronger.
Durant's a fucking twig.
Yeah. Again,
You go throw
you're talking
any
about skill
NFL
though.
wide receiver out there, they can match them in speed, movement, versatility, and they got them smoked on the strength department.
But they're smaller pound for pound. They're smaller, and then also handling the ball, the ball skills, the skills it takes handling that
they
ball.
got kind of like small.
It's
motor
tough, man.
skills.
Because again, I say a receiver, a cornerback, or an outside linebacker in the NFL is probably the best athlete. Most people argue that's NBA. It's tough.
There is a difference. I think that football players play with pain, more pain. There's more injury, and
They're not
through
talking
it.
about that though, B.
No, I'm saying
they're
that-
taking take away pain, all that. That's what the question's saying.
That's true. Yeah, he's
You know what I'm
asking,
saying?
like straight up just as athletes.
Yeah. Because football's a tougher job, but that's not the question.
Yeah.
If you take
Yeah.
the skill set, LeBron James is, yeah. But then again, okay. So the argument is, well, LeBron's so big, powerful, long, has to do explosive. Take a guy like Messi, who's what 5'6", 5'5". How tall is Messi? He's fucking
5'6".
tiny. Look what
5'6".
look what he can do on a football field or a soccer field. How long is a soccer field?
It just varies on sport, doesn't it? It varies sport to sport.
It doesn't though, because when you break
I
down,
think
it's
the
all
way to look-
athleticism.
I'll tell you the way.
It's
to look
all
at it.
athleticism.
If you were to take, let's take 40 sports. A lot of sports,
It's a lot of sports.
but let's just take 40 sports.
I can't even name 40 sports.
I can.
But okay, let's take the decathlon and then let's add some other stuff to it. Then let's give me 20 sports. We can come up with 20 sports, from tennis to soccer, to throwing the javelin, to jumping, to sprinting, to long distance, even whatever. And you took your I don't know, a random sample of, or not even a random sample, but you took 10 great NBA players and you took 10 football players. Or I guess actually better to say, I guess you'd have to judge it by, like, you'd have to take a big sample, like 100. Who would win? Like, who would come out on top? The basketball players? Would they excel at more sports than the football players would? I don't know.
Probably.
But football players, because they're small, they're not smaller, but like say a wide receiver or somebody who isn't as big as say a Dwight Howard, I would imagine might be easier for him on a soccer field or on a I don't know.
Well, it's tough to compare an NFL player to like an endurance sport like soccer.
Yeah.
You're going for a couple seconds.
Yeah,
at
just
a
on
time
average,
the
who would
football
come
field.
out of? That's the only way I could think I would.
But
know
I
how to
wouldn't say
do
the
it.
decathlons, because the decathlons aren't the best athletes in the world.
Well, they always say that that's how you throwing.
yeah, guys who are in the decathlon say that.
Yeah.
Any guy who plays real
Hurdles.
sports do not.
But you
they
got-
don't consider
but
that.
you do
The best
judge-
athletes aren't doing the decathlon.
Yeah.
If LeBron James at 10 years old decided to do the decathlon, he would shit on Bruce Jenner's record so bad.
Yeah.
Bruce Jenner would stay
Yeah.
whatever the fuck her name is now.
Yeah.
Don't I when people made that, and I got an argument with Brody Jenner over this in person. He went, they're the best athlete. Whoa. What do you mean the best athlete? I know your dad was doing that stuff. If Calvin Johnson was like, I want to do the decathlon at 12 years old,
Yeah.
they would be like, oh, well, we're all.
Well, let's see.
If a white guy wins the event, it's probably a bad sign.
You got.
If a white guy from Malibu wins a gold medal, it's a bad sign.
You got hurdles, long jump, high jump, javelin, pole vault. All right, that's 5. You got shot put. You got discus. So those are throwing.
Calvin Johnson doesn't even have to practice, and he takes first and more.
Yeah, probably at least 5.
Well, tell me Calvin Johnson isn't going to win the high jump.
He's got.
You want me to do what? You want to jump from the... Now that white guy's supposed to go? Yeah. Bruce can go behind you. Look at him go, though.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not a sport. Real guys aren't doing that. Huh? How much money's in that? If I'm in the hood, I'm let's say Little Brown's a phenomenal athlete. Is down thinking about the decathlon going, do you hate money? Yeah. What are you going to do with that? You going to do all that thing and do what? The fuck's wrong
Get
with you?
sponsorships after you win a gold.
Get on the Wheatie box. Cool, man.
Yeah.
You still don't make the Wheatie box these days.
Yeah.
Bruce Jenner's the only one ever.
Right.
You know, like decathlon's not the measure of sports these days.
How about
white guys still do the decathlon?
What about MMA? Like as an example, the average football player
couldn't be farther away from the best athletes.
No, I'm saying if you took basketball players and football players and they had to compete in MMA, I know there are different weight classes, but I would imagine football players do better. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about what are you doing now? Best athlete or toughest guys?
Well, athlete, but you have to be. I think fighting, UFC, wrestling.
As far as if it goes NBA, NHL, NFL, Premier League soccer, UFC's finishing dead last.
No, but if all those athletes competed in MMA, it's a tough one though because there's weight classes.
What are you talking about? That's so. But then if Nate Diaz tried playing basketball, it's.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying because MMA is fighting is a very natural raw form of physical expression. Requires wrestling. It requires submission fighting. Requires punching, kicking. There's a lot.
It requires a lot of set of skills.
That's what I mean.
But not physical.
But athleticism would help you. Like Calvin Johnson, I would imagine taking aside the idea of getting punched in the face and stuff like that.
You're talking about that fighting.
Yeah, it is.
Take away getting punched in the face.
It's a mindset.
You can't compare them.
Yeah,
it's two different lanes.
Yeah, fighters are fighters. Fighters are fighters.
That's like saying Calvin Johnson would be an amazing swimmer like Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
But he can't swim.
But if he could, I hear people say that basketball players are the best overall.
Most guys say
athletes.
that.
Yeah.
I think a corner who's going off pure reaction time to a receiver running a 4.340 has to assume the route he's going to run is probably the best athlete.
So I think we're all landing on the same thing kind of here. The best athletes overall are probably in the NBA. However, if you break it down to like a specialized, specific one kind of athlete, the NFL cornerback is probably that best guy.
Correct.
I'm totally on board with that.
And the smartest athlete out of all sports would be a quarterback. Right? Not even close. And the toughest job, quarterback. Not even remotely. No other job in professional sports is even close. Think about in the NFL how many good quarterbacks there are. Not many.
Well, when you broke down I didn't know you knew that much about football, but obviously you've been playing forever. But when you broke down how intellectual, how deep that position is, how much you have to know, I was blown the fuck away. Like I don't know football, but like, and I've always said, just from watching it, thinking you got these guys coming at you, you have a split second to throw that ball. Add in that the defense is trying to trick you all the time. Add in that every defense is different. Add in that they're changing it on the fly. Add in that you have to know that for how many other teams?
Anticipation.
It's fucking crazy.
The NFL quarterback. That's why most of them don't work out. That's why they need to groom them, and it's insane. This is interesting, and I might take heat for this. I meant to bring it up earlier. I know we're trying to wrap this up, but there was a segment on ESPN today, and they were saying there's the Rooney rule in the NFL where if there's an open head coaching job, you have to interview a minority. Mm-hmm. And I think there's 6 minority coaches in the NFL currently. And they're saying how it's an issue because really these coaches or these GMs are just hiring guys that they're in against the job, but because the Rooney rule, they're bringing in these minorities going, yeah, thanks for your time, man, and just checking it off. The issue I have with it, and I agree, like maybe, African Americans aren't getting or minorities aren't getting the same opportunities as the white coaches, but isn't it more important if you own a team to hire the most qualified coach despite
you hire somebody on their merit,
despite color? Like for you to force me to interview a minority and for me to get shit because I hired a white coach because he put 20 years in or also, and also
It's a lie.
all the offense coordinators in the NFL, white. Now,
I think it's condescending to black people when you do that. Let's bring them in and just interview them. I think it's condescending to anybody. I think it should be a meritocracy. Are you the best guy for the job? Period.
Period.
And I think anything else is a lie.
Me too.
Anything else is a lie.
100%. So I was watching and Mike Tomlin was saying, "Oh, how the rules fall to the wayside, blah blah blah." You look at Mike Tomlin's coaching staff, it's like, all right, well, if African American coaches are so good, why isn't your staff all African American?
You get the best guy for the job.
Because you have to win. Yeah. No one gives a fuck if your coach is Cherokee, if he's Asian, if he's white, if he's black. If you're winning and you put a good product on the field, no one gives a flying fuck. And they're saying, well, they're not giving these African American coaches a job. I'm like, we'll put them head to head as far as knowledgeable, their past, their history, their coaching experience. If they're the best guy for the job, I don't think they're being
looked over,
racist or looked over. They're just going, we got to win games. This coach came from the Niners or runs this offense. He just fucking happens to be white because most coaches in the NFL are white because they're more interested in coaching. You know what I'm saying? Or there's more of a push for white men to be coaches.
I think what you're saying is that if an African American or a Latina or whoever it is or an Asian person is the most qualified for the job, obviously hire them. And I mean, by the way, talk about a hard job. Talk about there are so few people doing that job that can do that job. And you're right. If there's been a tradition of a lot of white coaches, you know, you can't accuse an owner of being racist or being exclusionary.
Well, and then ESPN going, well, all it is an example of how America is, and we're not giving
We've
African
come a
Americans
fucking long way. They talk about women in this business not working enough in my business. Look at Ghostbusters, man. Look at Ghostbusters. They're ecstatic they're ecstatic with the box office. Those women are starring in that fucking movie. Look, Hollywood. We are trying. A lot of people are trying. There are a lot of good people. It's not. It's not. It just bothers me.
Yeah.
I know.
What else you got, Ev?
All right, next one we got. What does Dana White speaking at the Republican National Convention do in terms of legitimizing the sport? I'm all for people being political, but I can't recall any sitting commissioners in other sports speaking at conventions.
I don't know what.
Callan?
I don't know what Dana.
So I didn't see it. Was it on CNN?
I'd assume so. I saw like a little clip from it.
So he spoke at the
There's a great
Republican.
deal of discord within the Republican ranks.
I don't think it helps Trump because if America was based off famous friends and have them speak at your convention, I also don't know if Dana White, who was in Forbes top 10 slimiest humans in sports, I don't know if him speaking at your convention is going to sway voters. I guess you can say, well, look, he knows business, $2 million to $4 billion. He did it. He supports me. Mm-hmm. But then anyone who knows the sport goes, well, fuck, man. We know how Dana treats the fighters, how he pays the fighters. So if you look under the carpet, I don't think it helps Trump in that way. And it also makes a mockery of what Trump's doing. Granted, we can go for that. You can talk about it for days, all the mistakes he's making. But also with Dana, it just shows that it's more about entertainment and ego and Vince McMahon style than it's been. Because you asked Roger Goodell to do that, he's like, I'm not being associated with it. I got a job to do. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. And
that's what he likes to do.
And the
all
Republican
means do
convention is in such discord with people who are actively and openly against
Did you
Trump.
see the supposed first lady?
Ivana.
Did you see what she did?
Yeah, she went off her speech.
No, not went off. She copied.
Oh, she plagiarized.
She jacked from Michelle Obama's 2008 speech,
verbatim.
Yeah, pretty much verbatim. There was a note that came out today. I think it was from like an RNC, like one of Trump's campaign workers or employees or whatever, and that person took responsibility for basically,
of course, they did.
Putting that in their speech
Of
and
course.
not fact checking. So who knows if that's actually true or not?
Probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is. Those speeches are written for you. And then you basically say, I like this, I don't like this, let's change this, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And you had some moron who was plagiarizing or took a little excerpt from it and put it in there.
What can you
They
do?
like the way that those words sounded. But
What else you got, Ev? 2 more.
All right. What are your thoughts on Adrian Broner's latest problems? Rumor has it he showed up to trial 3 hours late, and
That's
drunk or
self-destruction.
high, then was sentenced to 30 days in contempt of court.
There's your self-destruction.
Yeah.
So when I see a guy doing PDs, he's just trying to stay with the competition. I see a guy, John too, who's getting drunk, getting high, showing up to court late. That's self-destruction. And Adrian Broner's one of the biggest talents in the world, but he just can't get his shit together. And ever since Mayweather and him had that feud, and Mayweather was like an older brother to him, he's really fucking fallen off. So that sucks, man. Huge fight this weekend, though, if you're a fight fan. Postal versus Crawford. It's pay-per-view, which I'm surprised by, but it'll be a great fight. What else you got, Ev?
Last one. It's been a weird show. Started off X-rated. We're going to end it a little X-rated.
Bring it.
Hey, dudes. What do you guys say about a gangbang? My woman is down and she's quaking for it. These are his words. She's quaking for it.
Quaking?
Hit
Don't
me
use
up,
that
bro,
term.
sis.
Don't use the
first
term
of all, I'd like a
quaking.
picture of your girl just so I can fantasize.
It's gonna help. It's gonna help me with my advice too if I get a picture of her. Because if we talking big burly girl, then it's a different game plan. We're talking about a little skinny mini, it's a different game plan.
Yeah, it all depends.
Talking about an Asian, it's getting real
I don't know how
weird.
you organize a gangbang because you don't know who the guys are, and it just
Well, you're calling your
seems-
friends. You're not having random dudes.
calling your boys. Then that's going to be weird too.
And how long has it been your girl for?
yeah,
I'm here for the
I
game.
mean, I appreciate her enthusiasm, by the way.
I appreciate her being open.
Yeah,
But
and
if
her,
Big
and
Brown,
her willingness for adventure. That's an adventure, but
I don't know if you want to lend me your girl during this gangbang. That's like, lending me your Ferrari. You need it back. That muffler's going to be all fucked up. So you're going to have some scratches on the side. There's going to be icing on the
you're
hood.
driving it. You're driving.
Oh,
it
I'm
hard.
taking it for a spin.
Taking it
and
off-road?
I'm treating that thing like a rental.
taking
And when
it
I say
off-road.
that exhaust is worn out, that bunny hole's going to get exhausted. I'm not your king. This is not going to be nice. If you get that quote.
By the way, that's right. Be
Hashtag
careful who you bring in there. She
300.
might just like it and get attached.
Yeah, if you dick her down right and then you're in the corner jacking off, admiring my work,
Yeah.
you can get passed up.
she
And
whispers
the next
in-
thing you know, I'm just over every Wednesday.
She might whisper in one of your friends' ears, "You're my favorite."
That's what you don't want.
Yeah.
So you
She
bet.
might- but it might sound like
If I'm
this.
him,
It might sound like this.
If I'm him, I'm watching tape on gangbangs like Aaron Rodgers getting
Yeah.
ready for the playoffs. So I know exactly how to lay down some mean game.
It might sound like this. Umu-hoo. Umu-hoo.
Well,
What? What'd I say?
yeah.
Wait, does the gangbang always have to be like a girl and guys?
Hold on, Kay. Throw that out here.
Does a gangbang always have to be girl? Like
And a
bunch
shitload of guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah. So if it's one guy and 5 girls, what's that?
That's a reverse. That's a muff.
That's an orgy. That's an orgy. A gang bang, hence the word I'm emphasis on bang.
That's a muff
is
mush,
a
a
bunch
muff
of
mush, muff-
dicks
muff mush.
doing some banging on one corpse.
Well, don't say corpse, but yeah.
So yeah, the distinction is orgy is with a shitload of chicks and a dude, and a gangbang is with a shitload of guys and a girl.
This has
Why is
been-
it fucked up?
Because orgy is such a nicer word, and you're saying gangbang, so it has to be this girl.
Well, what would
getting
you call it?
pounded by all these guys.
It gives you a good visual.
Fucked up.
Yeah, it is. This has been.
What
a
would you
very-
call it,
This has
though?
been a very aggressive
Just
male
don't.
aggression.
How about you just don't do it? How about that?
Well, some girls want it. If you watch the show Gigolos, some girl built a glory hole with a bunch of holes, and the guys, there's 5 of them, just put their dicks in. That's what she asked for and paid
Well,
for.
sexuality is very, very complex, and it's.
Some people are into certain
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, people
So
are
just
into
one
all kinds
after
of stuff.
another.
Hashtag bukkake.
Sure, I
no,
guess so.
or there's a bunch of them.
But what is everyone like?
You're so young and innocent.
I don't know. I'm not. I wouldn't be into a gangbang. Or
Neither am I. I'm so confused.
If you called me like, hey bro, get over here, we're having a gangbang, like, not my thing, man.
Well, you
how
know,
many?
a bunch of
6 of us.
dudes
I'm
with
not
some-
doing
you know
that.
what the problem is?
Who's the poor girl?
Yeah, I don't know if the girls.
Do you have electrolytes on hand? Do you have? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I would feel a little bit like a bully.
Are
or
we in the
something.
sun? Is it at your house? Is it
Are
on
we in the
carpet?
sun? Are we by the
Is it
pool?
on carpet?
I was
Is there
invited-
sofas? Is it on a bed?
I was invited by this guy, this porn star who.
What pole
has
position
been-
do I have?
This porn girl who's been to my show a couple of times. Her husband invited me to a pool party, He said, "Come by a pool party, bro. You won't be sorry."
Oh, you're talking about a sunbang.
Yeah, he goes, "Things get a sunbang."
Sunbang.
He invited me
Sunflower
to a sunbang.
bang. Sunflower
And it was
bang.
on a Sunday. He goes, "Come on by. You know, I like your work."
He said that creepy
I
voice?
like your work. Yeah, he's
Of course you're not
He was
going.
super creepy.
Can't
and
go.
I thought to myself, and they live, you know, in near where I live, and I thought to myself, I was like, God, that is exactly how actors, like some actor goes there, does some blow, takes some Viagra, and obviously somebody pulls out a camera, and there you are, say goodbye to your house. And
You talking
I was
about a good time?
Yeah, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna come to your house by the pool and just get down. That sounds great. The fuck out of here. So I did go, and I made everybody. I took.
And you can
everybody's
see
phone.
that video on
I took
YouTube now.
everybody's phone. Yeah, you can see.
And when we saw, and what's
See
it
it on
called when it's
YouTube.
all guys? It's also called a gangbang.
It's
Ask
called-
Callan.
Yeah, it was the sunbang.
It was Callan, 6 black guys.
That's right.
Called a gangbang still.
And I just looked
It's
at me,
called-
and I was in the sun for a long time, so I was super red. I got super pink. It was called Pink on Black Crime.
It's called
black on pink
It's
crime.
black dicks. Black dicks matter. Probably gonna have to edit that. All right, well, let's end this one. Hey, if you like this,
I
if
apologize.
you love this podcast, guess what, Phoenix, Arizona? July 29th and 30th, we are coming live. And we're even better in person.
That's right.
Both shows almost sold out. There's one show on the 29th. There's one show on the 30th. Go right now to tfatk.com. Get your tickets. Also, Sunday is the last day to buy the Roots of Fight collab. The yellow one, which Bryan Callan's wearing right now.
I love it.
It comes in gray, comes in white, then women tanks, also women shirt sizes. tfatk.com. Sunday's the last day. Part of the proceeds actually goes to the Performance Arts Center in Venice, California,
And by
to
the way-
inspire these little bastards. Stay creative, stay in Venice,
Stay creative,
buy a
stay
shirt, give back to the community of
Come
Venice.
see me in Oxnard, August 4th and 5th at Levity Live, Oxnard, California. Come see Bryan Callan.
Woo! Gangbang afterwards.
Gangbang afterwards. Sunbang.
TFAT K, Phoenix, Arizona, 29th, 30th. This is the Fire Kid. We're out.